All right, my goodness. My goodness. Okay, so what a day. What a day. What is that? Oh boy. What a day for a daydream. Okay, let me just check our title here. Hang on. Okay. Okay, so we're going to get to the summary now. Listen, I took notes when I was home. I took notes the whole way in the car, listening to it, taking notes while driving. No, I wasn't driving the car. Somebody will clip that and I'll be like, now she's taking notes while she's driving. No, I wasn't driving while we were driving. Jimmy was driving the car. But I took all of these notes, okay, on the witnesses that were there today, and then I have computer notes that I took prior to leaving, which I'm going to pull up, okay. Let's see here, and then I'll tell you all about the rental car drama. Wow, that was some drama. And then a suspicious package that I have, and then I fell off. My Dollar Tree sobriety starts again today, and we'll see how far I can go this time. Everybody mark it down. What is it? May 21st. Dollar Tree sober again. I'm going to see how long I can stay away because I have apparently a real problem. I'm trying to get some help for it. Okay. Scooter's my sponsor, so we're working on it together. But she wasn't, I reached out to her and I couldn't get a hold of her. So then I just said, screw it, I'm going there because I need it, you know? What are you gonna do? All right, let's see. Okay. So I just had to put that in, and I didn't, I want to put my tags in. I didn't put my tags in. Hi, Brooks Channel. Hi, Star Pixie. Hi, Aunt She, Sean Sneed, Mary, Cindy L. How are you guys? Let me see here. I forgot to go do something. Let me just quickly go and do this because hold on. How come I can't just put my freaking tags in there? Oh, there they go. Okay. Okay, let's put these in here. Whoops. we just got home not long ago, so just excuse that I have all stuff out I have to go through. I have to go all through that. So tomorrow's another day. Okay, so what we're going to do is we'll go over the trial. Then, if any of you are watching it and you have questions, you can talk about it. Otherwise, then I'll just put the number on the panel. And let me see. Hold on a second. Okay, let me just get this. That's what I want up, and then I've got to get my notes that I emailed to myself. Okay, so let me go over this. Sorry. Okay. Go to day 2. I just keep a running Word document with my notes because I type them in when I'm home. Okay, so where were we? He would ask you any question. Okay, so this is today. Day 2. So you have the Poweshiek County Sheriff's Deputy takes the stand, talks about his education, experience, certified peace officer in the state of Iowa, got a call about a missing person, told them, he was told that Mollie Tibbetts is missing. He went down to the sheriff's office and a search effort was organized for the first thing in the morning, and he was supposed to do that. But he wanted to ping the phone, but he found out that was already done and it was unsuccessful. He knew Mollie was staying with Blake and Allie Jack. He knew Dalton lived there. July 20th, he went to the sheriff's office to organize the investigation. He was there for a short time, and then about 9:30 or 10 o'clock, he went to the Jack's house. He was there with a BCI agent. There was a search effort and investigation, and he was involved in interviewing Blake and Allie and searching the home. Nothing found of interest. Deputy Simpson told him that Thursday evening he went through the house and he spoke to Mollie's mom, and they noticed that her running shoes were gone and the dogs were in the basement, indicating that she probably went for a run. And they learned that she likes to jog in the late evening, or the late afternoon or evening when it gets cool. And let's see. And they learned about some of her routes. The very first day, July 20th, several law enforcement agencies and volunteers were searching road ditches and rural fields, etc. They asked him what the definition of a canvass was, and he said a canvass was an investigative technique where they go door to door of every residence in Brooklyn and they find out who lived there and what vehicles were associated with the residence. And that canvass was law enforcement related and expanded to farm residences and rural residences in the southeastern quarter of the county. The canvass lasted approximately a month. Any evidence about where Mollie might have gone, something with her cell phone? Well, they said yes, there was something of significance to search an area because an FBI analyst who did some research on her cell phone could tell that that was the last area that it had been transmitting from, okay? During the course of the investigation, did you obtain any surveillance video? Yes, they did. And then this goes into the whole Collins residence. And it was significant because they had a team of people reviewing it. And they were able to pick out this black Chevy Malibu. And then, were you aware that that hairdresser saw her? Yes. Is that how you knew which area to search? Yes. Did you review the video? Yes. Some of it, not the whole thing. You saw the video with the vehicle on it? Yes. Describe it. He said it was a black Chevy Malibu. Initially, it was described as a 2008 to a 2012 with chrome door handles and mirrors. He saw the clips and knew that that was definitely the vehicle that they were looking for. August 15th, it was identified as a vehicle of interest. August 16th, did you happen to encounter the vehicle? And he says, yes, I was driving north on Highway 63, and I went under the underpass and I saw a vehicle at a stop sign at the off-ramp. He drove past me and I watched him. Had you been looking for that vehicle? Yes. Did you follow that vehicle? Yes. Drove past me. I got the plate number, he says. And he ran the tag and it was registered to that female cousin, okay? And he said the vehicle turned west onto 2nd Street, north onto an alley, and then it parked, and the driver got out, and he went there, and he asked to talk to him. And obvious, he did not speak English, but there was a man in the yard that said he would translate. And he gave this officer his birth certificate, and what did it say? Christian Bahina Rivera. They asked him to point him out in the courtroom. He did that. Were you able to find any other information? Yes, I found out he worked at Yarrowby Farms for the past 4 years. And how often he goes to Brooklyn. When you asked him that, he said, what? Occasionally. He gave me as common route from residence to town. And then here was like another mix-up. He said, well, I thought he gave me an address that was kind of like the farm address, but it wasn't really the address that he lived on. He lived on the farm property, but at a different location. So when his initial route, he described it as he takes the gravel onto pavement. It made more sense with the second address. Yarrowby Farms is a dairy farm outside of Brooklyn, a few miles, he says. They go through some pictures of maps, and talk about that. They show pictures of the vehicle, pictures of Rivera. Did you ask him about Mollie? And he said he had heard that she was missing, but he had no particular knowledge. Was it apparent you were a law enforcement officer? I think so. Did you introduce yourself as one? Yes. Did you arrest him? Nope. Okay. What did you do? Anything else? He said, I made a phone call about the encounter. I'm not sure if they sent the pics that day. There was no further questions. And then there was the cross. And it's the male defense attorney. And he says, on your interaction on August 16th, can you give his demeanor? Was he polite? Yes. Cooperated? Yes. Answered everything you asked of him? Yes. You searched his car? Yes. No, he said, excuse me, he searched his car? He said, no, I looked in it while he was getting the document. Did you see anything out of place? No. Anything unusual? No. Did you have any tips that the suspect was Hispanic? No. Okay, the FBI is involved using vast resources? Yes. And you have some from behavioral analyst unit? Yeah. He goes, I don't know. Oh, and did they tell you from that unit what type of individual that you should be looking for? Don't know, he said. The area where Mollie was found was focused on because that's where her cell phone had last pinged. And he says, no, it was where the cell phone had last been turned off. And then he starts to ask about a Mr. Wayne Cheney, who lived in the area and had a history of no contact order violations and was a little different around women, had a reputation. And in the first few days that we knew that was where her phone had, shut off, we had nothing else. Her phone just shuts off in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, Wayne Cheney lived about a mile south and to west of where Mollie was found. Yes. Were you involved in the canvass of 460 Avenue? Yes. Did you talk to people there? Yes. Did you talk to people who lived in 460th Avenue? Yes. Whose property was Mollie found on? And he said the last name was Bear. Do you know who owns the immediate property to the west? And he said, if I told you it was Ron Pexa, yes. You talked to him, yes. And it said, we had some information come in and we talked to him for about 30 minutes. It might have been recorded, but not by me. Information you received from him, he said, I don't know where it came from. I don't remember. Would the report involve him being violent in the past? It could have been. And he lived less than a quarter of a mile from where her body was found. Could be. Sounds right, he said. Would you have followed up on it if he had a history of violence against women? Yes. He lists the agents that he went there with in an investigation of this magnitude. You know the importance of following up. And he said he did not think they had anything on Mr. Pexa. But you had a lot of Mr. Cheney. And he said, no, not really. He was interviewed and looked closely at and cleared. His property was searched? Yes, I think so. Mr. Pexta's property was searched? I think so. We went to his house and his outbuildings. Was that searched by volunteers? He said it could have been. Was Mr. Pexta officially interviewed? I don't know. Did he deny any sexual... I don't know. He goes over Rivera's route and why it was wrong, okay? Because he said, your testimony to the jury that he just left and that he hit Blacktop and that's what fits the narrative, but you have no evidence you can provide for what he did. And he said, well, if you take the old highway, then it would take him over the bridge into town. Right, yes. And that could go with anything of commerce, right? Yes. But there's a trailer park there, isn't there? Yes. You come the other way, it would take you into the residential side of town. So he's starting to talk about, why would he come in there? He has an uncle in the trailer park, and this defense attorney just goes all over the place. And then he says, on July 20th, did you interview Dalton Jack? Was that the first real interview? A true interview? And he says, well, mine was the very next one after Simpson. Do you recall what he said to you? He said, well, we started building a victimology where we get the background, his personal characteristics, habits by talking to him. Yes. He told you he was at a hotel? Yes. He was working on a bridge until he got rained out. Then he took a nap and he woke up to a friend asking where Mollie was, right? Yes. Do you recall saying that every little detail is important? Yes. Why? And he said, well, we don't know what is or isn't, so we just want it all. You asked about her run routes? Yes. And he told you specifically if she runs 3 miles, she starts at the school and runs, and then she can run more on gravel, and then she could take a route right by Jasper Construction. He told you her run routes, right? Yes. You spoke more about the possibility of Mollie having another guy. Yes. That's routine. Yes? Yes. Okay. Mr. Jack said he would answer any questions that you had. I don't know. He mentioned a rumor about some girl in an accident. He's like, yeah, I don't know. And then this, it talks about a female and a male. And there was a female picked up by a male she didn't know. Another piece of info added to the stack. He said, this was just thrown in there. I think he just wants to have all these other people that could be involved. Is what he's doing. Did you serve search warrants? Yes. For what? Google locations. Did you check search Mr. Rivera's trailer? We checked Mr. Rivera's trailer. We got DNA. We got one for the Nissan Altima. We have the consent to search the Jack residence. Did you find firearms in the Jack residence? He said, or did you see them? He said, no. Knives? He goes, I don't know. I have knives in my house. Nothing stuck out. And then he starts asking about these people: Andrew Day, Michael Davis, Brandon Ruler, Tom Tomatich. And he said he was familiar, but he didn't follow up on he didn't follow up on them. But it was followed up on. Are you aware that all these people were investigated? Yes. And then he talked about Blackner Energy windmills that they set up in the area, and they have workers coming in and out from all over. And that was part of your canvas, and we identified and investigated those people. And then there was a canvas at Manat's headquarters in Brooklyn. And then they said, well, what about this Brandon Ruler guy? Isn't he a S offender, And Curtis and someone else, and goes through, he just kept going on about like all these other people, okay? It was just crazy. And then there was the redirect, and the prosecutor said, were you aware of an interview that the defendant that took place after your encounter? He says, yes. He says, when? And this guy says, August 20th. How did that happen? He said, well, we went to his place of employment for a focused canvass to get more information. At the end of the canvass, he was taken to the sheriff's office for an interview. Were there other agents with you? He said, yes. I'm not sure of the number. Myself, one or two other agents from the sheriff's office, BCI, Homeland Security, maybe about 12 people total. And I identified him as the same person that I saw on the 16th. Were you made aware that an interview was being taken place at the sheriff's office at some time? He said, yes, he was. After he was transported away, this officer ended up at home, and at some point around 9 p.m. he got a call that Rivera was talking about some interesting things and to please come back to the sheriff's office. So he went to the sheriff's office around 10 p.m. and they left at about 4:30 a.m. on the 21st, and they ultimately ended up on a field drive into a cornfield. After search of the cornfield, they found human remains covered by corn stalks, and those remains were later positively identified as Mollie Tibbetts. They showed an exhibit about maps and pictures of the southern half of Powashik County, and then I left, and I have to get my notebook down. Did you discover the body? No. Were you aware of anyone else law enforcement interviewed? No. You were asked about Wayne Chaney by the defense. Any evidence about him? No. Or what about Paxta? No. Among those people that were brought up by the defense, any evidence that any of those people had anything to do with this? No. And what about any other vehicle? No. Okay. He had no more questions. Then the defense got up again and they said, did you ever find the murder weapon? No. Did you ever follow up with Mr. Paxta? No. Then there was no further questions with him. And the next witness was Logan Collins. Logan Collins is the guy that has the footage, the security footage, okay? So they go through a little bit about him. He's 27 years old. He works at a furniture cleaner, but he's also a diesel mechanic. He's not married, no kids. He grew up in Hartwick. He lived in Brooklyn at the time. He moved out in 2019. Let's go back to 2018. Were you in a house with who? His girlfriend and his younger sister. And he was working at Ovation Network. And that's a company that installs Wi-Fi for hotels. So did you have cameras at your house? He said, I did. Were they optional? Were they operational? Yes. Tell the jury about them. So he said, I have 4 cameras that are on. One is pointed at the southeast, one to the north, one to the northeast, and one to the east. And how long is this footage saved? For 30 days. So in August of 2018, were you contacted by law enforcement about your cameras? Yes. And you gave all that stuff to law enforcement? Yes. First they collected it on a zip drive, and then they took and seized the entire unit. So let's see. He talks a little bit more about the cameras, and you learn that Mollie is missing. You're very cooperative, right? Yes. Okay. No further questions. Cross-examination says, did you review any of this stuff before giving it to law enforcement? And he says, no. Did you notice anything unusual when you were outside? Because some of these photos and still pictures showed him outside on the cameras. So they're saying, did you notice anything unusual outside? And you grew up in a small town. Now here's what he's going to say. You grew up in a small town. And in a small town, you know everyone, and you notice if there's a car, like this would be this Chevy Malibu. Wouldn't you notice that if it was just driving around and driving around? So you didn't take notice of that black Malibu? No. And you didn't see anything unusual? No. And then, let's see. State was asked to redirect, but they said nothing further. And then a Derek Risen took the stand, working with the DCI, Department of Public Safety, gaming enforcer, agent in the game. He's going through all of his stuff, okay, and what he says. He says that on July of 2018, were you assigned to the Mollie Tibbetts case? Yes. Okay. Were you the case agent? Nope. What's the case agent? Like a project manager? Yes. Okay. So the agent, there is some guy named Trent is the case agent. July 26th is when you got involved. Yes. What did you do? He said, I did interviews. I helped in the neighborhood canvas. Let's see. And I had a task of locating surveillance camera footage. So lots of houses have outbuildings to check and all that stuff. Was everybody cooperative? Yes. And then he says, how do you keep track of all this surveillance stuff? He says, we have a large map with stickers to show progress, and they put a yellow sticker if you have to go check out the cameras there, and a red sticker if they've got it and stuff. So there's yellow flags at the Collins residence. And they said, yeah, we were there at least 2 times. Another officer was there. Logan wasn't home when we went. And then we had to go back to retrieve the footage, and then we eventually retrieved the whole system. Another agent was with him at that time. How long had you known that the cameras needed to be checked? And he said, well, some agent, told him. And then when he got the footage, he worked with another agent, George, and they went over this footage, okay? And they were working on it on August 14th, but on the 15th is when they kind of narrowed down one area, and they saw this jogger silhouette, and they saw this car, okay, at the end of East Des Moines. And let's see, and then they sent it out to everybody else, okay, about 4 other officers, and had them review it independently. And then he put all of that information on an Excel sheet, and that's when it started to really make sense, because everyone reported that Chevy Malibu is significant, being in the area. And when they saw it on that Excel sheet, they knew they needed to find out who was driving that, okay? So the other officer then has that encounter where he finds the guy on the highway, and they talk about the distinctive features that it had, the rims and the chrome trim. And so did you find out if they were specialty or aftermarket? No, he didn't find out that much about that, if that was, but he said it was just something that was very distinctive. Now this one, okay, then there was an officer that took the stand, and she was a female officer, and they asked her about the interrogation. Did he have food to eat? Yes, he was given a meal. He was given 25 minutes to eat it. It was a sandwich. He was given breaks. he was chuckling, even though he was, okay, he was tired. I was tired too, she said, but he was still chuckling. It wasn't, she was just trying to say he was treated fine and all that with everything that was going on. And I just want to make sure that, let's see here. That was Pamela Romero. That was her name. And that was the officer that was interviewing Bahina Rivera before he led them to the body, to Mollie's body. And then the defense attorney, it was the female defense attorney, Jennifer Fries. And she was asking if he was falling asleep because he had just worked a 12-hour shift before being interviewed for 11 hours. Okay, so he had been in the United States for 7 years, spent 4 of them in Brooklyn, Iowa. He was working and sending money back to his family in Mexico, where he was trying to build a house. At some point during the police interview, Romero said that she learned that his car was being searched, right? Processed, and that there was hair found in the vehicle. And when she told him this information, she said he started to say it was his 3-year-old daughter's hair. Oh, she asked him, the defense attorney asked if she tried to trick Bahina by saying that she was there to help him out, And she said it was a bad translation in his interview transcript, and the word help has different meanings in Spanish. She said she was trying to get him to guide me to better understand what happened, and she denied that she was offering help to him. Now, after locating Mollie's body in the field, this officer said that another officer, Sergeant Jeff Fink, read the defendant his rights, and that he admitted that he followed Mollie, parked his car behind her, jogged after her, and that when she noticed him approaching, she threatened to call the police. And she also said that Mollie slapped him and was yelling at him. She tried to slap him away. She was screaming at him, which made him really angry, right? And then next thing he knows, he looks down, he's in his car, he has no idea, but that he blacks out when he gets really angry, and he sees her earbuds on his legs, and he thinks, she's in the trunk. But doesn't know how she got there, but then admits to going to the cornfield, driving there, carrying her out, laying her down, covering her up, okay? He said that Mollie was bleeding from the head and neck, and she felt like a person that had just fainted, is what he told Romero. And he said he could not remember the type of weapon that would have been used to do that. And then when she pressed him for more information, he said, well, I brought you here, right? So that means I did it, right? I don't remember how I did it. And she said that's what he told her. She said that he just shrugged his shoulders and told her, I didn't think about it. And if he felt bad, when she asked him if he felt bad, he said no. He told her initially that he didn't know who Mollie was, and then he said he had the flyer in his car. She put the 3 pictures in front of him, and she said he just went around and just, without even being asked, said, yes, that's my car. He told her that at one point he said that Mollie was hot. We've heard that before. She told him when she was interviewing that he could leave at any time. He spoke in Spanish, and an audio and video tape was made. Let's see. He worked milking cows. He was later transferred to cleaning duties. And then next we had Scott Green, DCI agent, and he told the defense attorney Chad Fries that the case agent instructed investigators to get DNA swabs from every employee at Yarrowby Farms. He was asked if he had been told that any of the potential suspects were Hispanic, and he said nope, he was not. The defense attorney questioned him about why white interview subjects and residents were not swabbed for DNA samples. Did agents get a DNA swab from every household you went to? No. Yet they went to Yarrowby Farms and they got a swab from every employee, right? That was the understanding, Green said. And he remembered that 6 to 8 employees at the dairy farm, all of who he understood to be Hispanic, were swabbed. He also testified that he did not swab a non-Hispanic co-owner of the farm who he spoke with during the canvass. Okay, and then there was Michael Fischel, and that's a special agent with the Department of Homeland Security who got a phone call about the investigation on August 19th. The DCI was requesting assistance, okay, and they wanted to look for Bahena Rivera at work the next day. When the officials all arrived at Yarrowby Farms that day, they began speaking with the employees, and an investigator located Bahena. He was calm, he wasn't nervous, he was cooperative, okay. In addition to the Chevy Malibu, he said he drove a Nissan Altima. And the investigators then searched the trailer and the Malibu, had documents to search the Altima. Let's see. I think that was... We have one more. No, that was it. We went over that one, so she was the last one, and then that was it for the day. So tomorrow we have, what do we have tomorrow? Adjourned at 4:25 by Judge Joel D. Yates. Jurors will return to the courthouse at 8:30 a.m. on Friday. So they've gone through, I don't know how many more witnesses they have. I'm sure they're going to have, they've already gone through at least 10, right? Okay, so let's see here. Why is this not working here? Hold on, my chat is all messed up. There we go. Okay, let's see who's in chat. And now I'll tell you about the Alyssa, Aunt Bradley, Aunt She, Danny Springer. Danny Springer, everybody was asking about you. They didn't know where you were. They hadn't seen you in a long time. Where are you? Are you okay? Hi, Daniel C., Debbie L., Deborah Vancouver, Jeanette, Linda Uribe, Nightbot, of course, Robbie Bob, Sensible Crime, Sharon, Sean Sneed, Vero. I think we're just, somebody else just jumped in. Leah Jane, did I get? Okay, I'm going to put the number in, and then while people are coming on, I'm going to tell you about my, oh boy, our day. And I have a, did someone, okay, someone in Illinois with the first name Shari, did you send me a package? Because I have a package here, and I've done a search of my email, because you people usually email me for my address with the name that's on the package, and nothing is coming up. I'm not sure who it is, and the name is just not ringing bells. I mean, we have a Sorry Shares, but she's in Minnesota. Not Minnesota. Missouri. And I really am not sure who this is at all. So, I don't know. But I'm going to open it. And then I got something that came from Amazon. And I'm not sure who that's from, but I think maybe it'll be in the box or something. And then I got something from Shannon M. And I'm going to open all of that stuff tomorrow. Because it came and then we had to rush right out. Hold on, I'm just getting the invitation in. But let me see here. So if you sent me that, can you please let me know who you are? In here, what your screen name is or something. Okay, now I'm going to put that in Slack. Okay, so here's what happened. The adjuster came out. Was it today the adjuster came out, or was it yesterday? It was today, right? Can't even think anymore. The adjuster came out and he said, okay, well, I can tell you that looking at this, it's this much money, okay? That it is. He said, but I can't open up the hood. Can't open up the hood. I don't know if your radiator is bowed. I don't know what could be going on in there. I don't know what's going to happen. But we'll take care of it. They'll tell us and we will just pay them directly, okay? So he calls Toyota and Toyota says, okay, we're there only till 5. Now they're like an hour and a half from us. So we got Luke right off the bus because he gets home later than Ethan. We're all ready. Go. Boom. We shoot up to Oneonta. He called an Enterprise. Okay. So he calls Enterprise, and Enterprise says, we have a Chrysler Pacifica for you. So I'm thinking, okay. That's like their town and country minivan now, right? All right. So this Enterprise, now, I don't know if you're familiar with Oneonta, but it's a college town. It's a nice town, but we go like off the beaten path to this Enterprise, and it's like hooked up to this body shop and like this kind of residential area. It was just really weird. And we see this Chrysler Pacifica parked on the side of the road, and it is so dusty. And she says, well, it's just the pollen, okay? So I'm still in my vehicle, and I see her going out, and then I walked over there because I saw her going, and I said, oh boy. Before I looked in the car, before I knew anything, I said, when I just saw the outside, I said, make sure this is clean and sanitized, because if this is one of these party buses for these college kids that they took around or rented, I don't want any part of it. So she lets us look in, and it has black leather seats. And when we looked in, like we only got a tiny look in, it looked okay. So I said, well, I'm going to drive my car to Toyota. You drive that. So Jimmy gets in, and Luke says, I'm going to go with him, and Ethan stays with me. Well, I see Jimmy jump out of the car, runs back in there. I'm like, what the hell? And then Luke comes over and says, oh my gosh, Mom, it stinks so bad in there of cigarette smoke. Now, meanwhile, they made Jimmy sign this big thing that I'm not going to smoke in the car. We're not going to smoke in the car. It's not allowed. If they come back and there's cigarette smoke smell in there, you'll be charged this, that, and the other thing. So Jimmy goes running in to say, hey, we don't smoke, and this car stinks, reeks of cigarette smoke. So they're like, oh, okay, we'll note that down. And I'm like, what? You know, but I didn't even know how bad it was. So, we both get to the Toyota dealership. So I put on a rubber glove because I'm just thinking like, okay, this thing is sanitized. So I'm just going to go over it with a wipe. I open the passenger door and I look in, you know, where you have the little things, and I just went like that, and like dirt came out. Okay. And I'm like, they didn't sanitize this. No. And then I'm like, and I look over like in the middle console, and it was all dusty, and I'm just like, ugh. I look at the passenger seat, and there's like a white thing, like ice cream, like dripped down it. I'm like, what the hell is this? This is disgusting. I said, I'm not riding in this. And then the smell of it smelled like an ashtray. Okay. So and Jimmy said, yeah, well, that's not the half of it. When it smells like poop, like dirty diapers. Oh. Yeah, he goes like, it smells like dirty diapers.
Caca.
Well, yeah, caca. When you and I said, that's it. You should have seen me. All right, I'm going with this. That's it. I am not getting in that thing. Luke, go sanitize your hands. Right. So then and meanwhile, listen, I have this glove on with this dirty wipe in my hand. Right. So I'm like, so then Jimmy's like, well, what do we do? And I said, well, call them and tell them to get down here with another vehicle. And he goes, they don't have any more vehicles. And I said, oh my gosh, right? What are we going to do? So he goes, I don't know, but they said they don't have any vehicles. So I said, well, can't they rent us one here? He's like, I don't know. We'll have to go talk to them. Okay. So he said, but they said, no, they didn't have any. So I'm like, are you kidding me? This is the only place up here in this big town that anyway, I go in because I am not going in that car. So I took off the glove, right? So I have it like this. So I'm looking for a garbage can. So I have to go into like the service area. And I said to the lady, do you have a garbage? And I love how they just go like this and they stick their hand out. Like they're just, like they don't even know what it is. And they just stick their hand out.
Yeah.
Like it could be my gum. I would never ever in my life do that. Stick my hand out, right? So I go to the lady, and I hold up the glove, like, because I'm not going to put that, because that would skeeve me the hell out, right? So then she goes, oh, okay. So she grabs the garbage and puts it through the window so I can throw the glove in. So we go back to the collision part of this, and we meet with this nice lady, and she's like, I feel for you people, but you don't understand. This is what I was trying to tell you guys. Your vehicle, even though that it's not really considered drivable, we can't get it in here for like 2 weeks. You know that, right? So it's going to be here for 2 weeks. And then we don't even know how long it's going to take. And you're really running the risk of losing, you're not going to have rental coverage because you only have it for 30 days. And she goes, and they very rarely make any exceptions. I know your car's not drivable. And, but I don't know what to tell you. She said, we could try to get it in early. I can't promise you, but all of the rentals are gone that we have. And the ones that are coming in tomorrow, they're already promised out. And she goes outside and she looks at it and she goes, what? She goes, they gave you this like that. She just with the outside, she's saying, okay.
Wow.
So Jimmy's like, what's the pollen? And she goes, oh my gosh, this is horrible. And then she goes and opens it up and she's like, oh my gosh, it stinks in here, right? So she's like, no, this is wrong. You call them up. And she goes, there is a Hertz, but she goes, oh my gosh, they closed at 5:00. And I'm like, at this point, I am so pissed off, right? So Jimmy goes, you stay here. I'm going to drive this back to them because they're open for another hour. So I guess he got there and he said that here's what they told him. They said, now, this is where this lady totally lied to me. She told me this car was sanitized, okay? Because that's what they do for the COVID. So the guy says, well, we could bring it in the back and do it now. I said, how are they going to get that cigarette smell out of there? Mm-hmm. Jimmy said, they have these things that do it. He's like, but it smells like poop, though. Do you want them to do that? Or should he goes, they said they have a Camry, and the Camry is all sanitized. So I'm like, oh, crap. Just get the Camry. Because then I was thinking, like, okay, if we just get home in a clean vehicle, we could bring it into another enterprise somewhere and get it switched out, right? because I'm telling you, I was walking that car lot thinking, crap, we're going to have to buy a car now. That really crossed my mind.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was thinking like, well, Ethan will be driving soon. Maybe we can get some, you don't know the things that were crossing my mind, because I'm like, no way am I driving home in that van,
No.
that disgusting van. And so I'm like, that was going through my mind. And then finally he said the Camry. So he comes back with the Camry. The Camry's clean. Okay, so we get in the Camry, and then we went out to dinner. But it was just, it's a nightmare. And now I'm just hoping like they can just get this car in sooner. And I've got to fight with the insurance now about finding out, like hopefully that we can, I don't know if they'll extend it or what.
Well, they're going to have to. You need a car.
But yeah, I know, it's terrible. So.
And then I was listening to you on my lunch break.
Yeah.
And all I heard was Luke choked on
oh
a
my
mozzarella
gosh!
stick.
Oh
and
my
I thought,
gosh!
Dear
That was
God.
you have no
And
idea
you know
what that was
fear.
like. And
you know
Jimmy,
my fear
yeah, choking, yeah.
of choking.
I know. Well, Ethan ordered mozzarella sticks, right? We were at Applebee's, and they're really stretchy with a lot of cheese. And Luke doesn't usually like cheese, so Luke is eating one, and he's like, okay, and Ethan's like, why are you eating them? So he eats another one. All of a sudden, I see him going.
Oh.
Right, so I'm going, and Jimmy, who's normally like right on top of things, is like totally oblivious, right? Because he's looking at something like, oh wow, look at that. And I'm going, Jimmy, and Jimmy just like that. He's joking, right? Get him, because Jimmy's sitting right next to him. And like I'm like, hey, hit him on the back. He needs a Heimlich or something. Come on.
Yeah.
Right? And Luke, you should see Luke. Luke is like
He's
reaching in his throat, right, to pull out this. And I'm telling you, and I'm like, he's like, right. So then he pulled, like, Luke got some. I swear to you, I think the kid went down his throat, and pulled something out, and then he was still choking, and then Jimmy, like,
because it was down there.
Yeah, hit him on the back, and then he he got the rest of it out, and he was like, okay, I'm never eating mozzarella sticks again. I'm never eating them again. And I'm just like, oh my gosh,
Poor Luke.
Poor Luke. So yeah, that was fun.
Oh. See, I would have had him up doing the Heimlich.
Oh my gosh, yeah. She's.
As soon as I heard that, man, I honed right in on it, and I thought, oh dear God.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy. So yeah, just like.
Well, you know what happened to me, and I was shaking so bad. You know, you've had things happen where you're shaking so bad, and the what ifs keep going on in your head, right?
Yeah.
So tonight I'm coming home from work. Everly had her other show tonight, and she has another one tomorrow. Well, anyway, it was like 20 to 10. So I pull up and I open the garage thinking Mark would be home by now because he was watching London.
Right.
And so I'm starting to pull in, and then I realize, oh my God, he's not home. And the dogs, we put them with a comforter and their bed and water out in the garage together because Angie will pee if we don't.
Right.
So I thought, oh dear God, the dogs are out here. My car, I moved my car in here. I get out and I'm thinking, where are they? Where are they? You know, and I'm looking all over, I'm screaming for them. Here they come. I don't know, it was by the grace of God. I mean, I could have run over both of them. And because I couldn't see them.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my God. And so I'm yelling for them, right? And so they come out. They were out by the driveway where cars could have come.
But where were they? You mean
they were in the garage, but I don't know what made them not go under the car. But thank God they must have.
They flew out of the garage
when driveway.
They flew out when you opened the garage door?
Apparently.
Wow.
I was so scared. I mean, I held both of them, and I mean, I was shaking so bad, and I thought, oh dear God, I couldn't have lived with myself. There's no way.
Yeah.
So then Mark gets home, and I go, Mark, you know how when I put the dogs in the garage, how I always text you or call you and go, Mark, if he's not home, the dogs are in the garage. Don't come through the garage, go through the front door.
Right.
Why didn't you text just to make sure? I better text her just to make sure she remembers.
Right.
I was so mad because I looked back on my phone and he hadn't texted me. But I thought he would have been home by 20 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
Oh my God. I mean, even when I think of it now, it just scares the crap out of me. The what if.
Right.
The what
Yeah.
if. And I hate doing that. And I try to make my mind not think about the what if.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But, oh God, that could have been so catastrophic. Can you imagine? Oh.
Ugh.
That would have been the end of me. Would have been the end of me. So, yeah. Oh, God. So, yeah. That's what I did today. Got croaked.
Yeah. Wow. Should never short
So-
cars as business is picking
But
up.
here we are now.
Yeah, I don't know. And then I asked the lady, well, why are you guys so backed up with your collision stuff?
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking like she's going to say a lot of people getting in accidents now. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And she said,
Yeah.
I know. It's, what the heck excuse did she give me? She said something like, there's other places in town, but they're backed up too. And it's just like, she really didn't give me a reason. I can't even remember what the freaking reason was, but I just said, why is it so backed up? What the? I
Yeah.
don't get why it's that backed up. And she said, well, I was telling your husband, and I'm really going to try to get the car in sooner, but, at that point, she said, and I didn't even know, like, she goes, if he doesn't, you guys want to take your car back, listen to that one, here, I'm going to go back. I'm like, do you know we're an hour and a half from here, and we don't even know if we should be driving this car? Because then she looked at it, she came out, she was really good, and she's like, you can't get this hood open. Your whole radiator could be bowed, and you don't know it. And she goes, this is really deemed undrivable. And she says, I don't think you guys should be driving this, but if you do want to take it back, and I'm like, I'm going to take that back and come out here again. This is ridiculous. And so she goes, well, then just put the keys in with the drop box. There's a drop box thing, and lock your car and just put the keys in it. So that's ended up what we did. And oh boy, it was just crazy.
What a headache.
It is a headache.
And then I had to go back to work, but I just saw you walk into the Dollar Tree.
Yes, I did. I fell off the wagon.
You did.
My Dollar Tree sobriety was broken, but I'm back on the wagon now, so I'm Dollar Tree sober right now till I go in again.
Oh,
But
okay.
they
Did
really,
you do much damage?
Not really. They're real. The books were really good, like those sewing, and then like sometimes you find them, and I find them in obscure ones, and they had a polymer clay one, and it had a little camera, and it was so cute. And I said I have to get this one because then I can put pictures in Slack too if we do the polymer clay and stuff. But I picked up that one, and I picked up a felting. It said, I think it was felting and yarn, and then a couple of other things. But yeah, no great shakes, really.
Really?
Not really, no. Nothing really.
So it'll be easy then. And the thing to do, I'm telling you the thing to do. Because I'm right with you. With the Dollar Tree, stay away.
Mm-hmm.
Although I did go.
Sobriety.
But,
Dollar Tree sobriety.
yeah. You don't watch Dollar Tree hauls.
I know, right? You just have to.
Because that's what gets you.
You do. It's like people, places, things.
Yeah.
Got to get those vloggers off there. Because they're always trying to drag you back in to the Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
Right?
And so it's like, okay, I'm just not going to watch anyone do Dollar Tree hauls.
Nope. Get them all off.
And then I won't know.
Unsubscribe. Hide. I'm serious because like they're always like, Dollar Tree. And then you're like, how did you get that at the Dollar Tree? No.
Oh.
But she's like, how did, I'm just joking, like, oh, I got this at the Dollar Tree. And then you're like, no, you didn't. Yes, you did.
Yeah.
All right. So then they drag you back in.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So we have to just kind of change our every time we think like, oh, I wonder what they hope. No.
Yep. Can't.
Won't do it. Won't do it.
Can't do it. I can't.
You're addicted to Amazon, but you return most of it? Really?
That's another one I'm addicted to is Amazon.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I am.
Yeah. I'm never taking your. You're never taking your wallet out of your purse again. Really? Okay. Good luck with that. You
And
know,
where's the vice president here?
I talked to her before I came on here, but I can't find Rosemary. I found Rosemary and I didn't pick it up in the Tractor Supply. I said, I'll get it when I get to Walmart. I went to Walmart. They had a horrible selection. Then today I said, I'll go get Walmart. No. And those 3 little squeaky toys that I tell you the dogs are crazy
Yeah.
about, I
Yeah.
go, I'm going to find it in this Walmart. I definitely, nope. And I'm like, why did I open my mouth? I don't know why. Every time I say something, it's gone.
So the rosemary, do you have a Trader Joe's anywhere around?
No, but you know what I did? I just bought rosemary seeds and I'm just going to plant it.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to do. I
Because-
said, because I'm just not going to, I just can't.
Okay.
And then if I find it, I find it, but if I don't, I'm going to start
Right.
the seeds tomorrow. Because I keep it all year, it's not just,
Oh, yeah,
For the
mine,
summer.
that stuff grows like wildfire.
mm-hmm.
I gotta do all mine too.
Yeah, I'm going to do some of that tomorrow. And my little guy I keep calling little guy. She's a girl. I don't know what is wrong with me. No, there's something real. When I have female dogs, I call them he's. When I have a male dog, I call it a she.
Well,
I don't know what's wrong with me.
well,
And all of us do it. Every single one of us does it. We call Desi
Well.
a she. Watch out, she's going to get into that. And when we had all female dogs for years, and we called them all he. Watch out, he's going to get that. Maybe I should just do the they pronoun and just forget it,
yeah,
right? And then
You
not have to
go-
worry about it.
yeah, yeah. Just go in with the rest of them.
Right.
No breastfeeding, just chest feeding.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go they.
Yeah. They're going to get that. Watch out. I don't know. I do it constantly. I don't know what it is. It's got to be something with my brain.
Well, what are you gonna do?
I don't know. But I think it's been that way my whole life. I don't know why. All cats are girls to you, Sharon?
So you're planting tomorrow,
Yeah. I thought I just saw
and
something.
did 10th Angel get a hold of you about the?
She told
you
me
wanted
something,
to
but
do-
I've just been running like a ragged person, and today was my daughter's birthday anyway, so I have time to do it because I sent her, she got her teapot today that she wanted. I sent her the money, I PayPal'd it to her, but I have like that bear shirt that I got her, and I got a couple of other things here, so when she comes up, I'll put the card with that, so I have time to make it so that I can do a good job on it. So I
Okay.
will get with 10th Angel and get that done. But yeah, it's been so crazy. And now that the car's in, maybe it'll ease up a little bit because it's just been dealing with this stuff. I don't know. Tell people
Yeah,
your
you've had a
pets
lot
are
going on.
non-binary. Yeah. What'd you say?
You've had a lot going on.
Yeah. So you're going to the Frozen tomorrow again?
Yeah, tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. And
Jason's going to this one.
oh yeah. And
Yeah.
how was work?
Let me think. I gotta think for a minute. It was okay.
It was all right today?
It was okay. Yeah, I was pretty busy
Oh, there's
actually.
Scooter.
'Cause oh,
She's in the chat. I thought I saw her.
Scooter.
Scooter. Wow. And yeah, so that was something. So you've got to go to Frozen, and then that's the end of it. Is that the end of it
Yeah.
tomorrow night?
Yep, that'll be the end. And then she has her talent show in June, and then she'll have her Christmas play in I think the beginning of December. So we'll start all over again.
Oh my goodness. So wow. Do they
And
wear
then I
masks?
really can't get going on anything because, I'll do a little bit, but once I get going on something, like a DIY or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want to stop once I get going.
Right.
And, you know, I have to go get that because UPS, I wasn't here when they brought that clay, you know, all that.
Oh,
went on.
yeah, yeah.
So I have to go get that from the UPS store. I'll do that before I leave. So I have to leave here at about 5:30. So I'll try to do some kind of, I don't know what I'll do. I'll do something.
Yeah.
And then Saturday I work. So
Yeah.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday,
Sunday,
I
Monday.
got to really crank out some videos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hi, Ann Bradley. I need to come to the U.S. not only because I love it there. I needed to go to the Dollar Tree. So jealous of all those hauls. Yeah. Well, we're trying to stay on the wagon. Scooter's my sponsor.
Oh, she is?
I was joking and told her that tonight because you know why? Tonight I left my everybody was in bed and I left my trial notebook in the car. And I couldn't believe it. And I said to Scooter, she goes, okay, I'll let you go. I said, no, I have to go out to the car. And if something happens to me, you've got to be on the phone. And so then I was like, okay, I'm walking out to the car. I'm walking around the car. I'm walking to the passenger side. I'm opening the passenger side door. She's like, is it in there? It's in there. And, yep. And that's what happened.
Because it's dark out there where you are.
Yeah, and I said, what if there's a bear? What if there's a crazy YouTube person sitting out there like, hi.
Hey there.
Hey, hi. So,
is that Scooter coming in?
It is.
It's dark out there.
Scooter.
Well, there she goes.
There
she
is.
loves to do that.
She's wearing new glasses and a new shirt.
She's got new glasses?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at her.
I had to call in. I'm sorry. Yes. I had to call in.
Well, it's about time.
You know why? I am Carolyn's sponsor for the Dollar Tree addiction.
I'm losing power. I might be gone and I'll have to re-plug in. So keep talking.
Oh, I thought she was making fun of Scooter, didn't you?
No, I'm not.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
being serious.
Oh, okay. I thought you really were making fun of her.
No,
Yeah, no, she's my sponsor, so.
You were supposed to call me if you felt like you were
I
going
know.
to go.
But I did call you and you didn't answer, so I just went into the Dollar Tree.
You had already went to Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
It was, you're supposed to call before you go, not after.
I felt like I felt like I deserved it. I had a hard day, and I was going to go to that darn Dollar Tree.
It is darker, Robbity Bob. It was supposed to be kind of like how Carolyn's is. But
oh wait, I can't even see it. I mean, you got to turn a light on. It does look much darker. It looks brown the way it is, but we can't even see it. You got to turn a light on.
Oh, what? Wait, I gotta plug this thing in.
Yeah, because you're in the dark.
Oh, look at my hair though, the way that lady cut it. And
what lady? You had a lady cut it?
A couple of weeks ago.
Oh, I don't remember.
That just, I hate the way,
I can't see it. From here it looks brown.
No.
You've got to put a light on. What does it look like to you, Davida?
Well, I don't know. I can't tell. Can you turn the light on?
He needs a light.
Right now, I just hate myself.
Why?
The way I look right now.
No.
Yeah. Especially the hair cut, okay? Okay, this is what it was supposed to look like.
Got to be. Okay, wait. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what color does that say?
Urban fuchsia.
Urban
okay.
fuchsia. Okay.
I like it.
Okay.
I thought that would be pretty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's called Metallics.
Right. Got to be.
I don't have brown hair, so.
Right.
And that other stuff was just, a semi-permanent thing, washes out.
Right.
Right.
So I don't know. For some reason though, I thought it would be, I don't know what I was thinking.
Oh boy.
Well, go ahead. It's okay. That's basically what color mine is right now. That's what color mine is, Scooter.
Well, it would look good on you.
No, it looks good on
But
you.
Scooter, we can't even see you.
He's doing that on purpose.
Hold still.
No, I like it.
I can't even see her. She's like in a still
like-
photo now. Let me
It
see.
looks like
It's
it.
red. It's red. Red. They call her red.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's what color mine is right now. I'm not joking. When I'm in the sun, that's what
Red.
color it is.
Do you see red? I think they used to call the neighbor up there, that the mother of the drone. They used to call her red. She had red hair.
That's
They
what
used
the
to call
kids
her
at
red.
school
It's
called
the-
me, red.
The
Red.
freaking haircut though, I don't know.
Well, just, what you could do is until it grows out a little bit, you could spike it
I
Yeah,
like it.
like you used to.
I like it.
Look how
I do too.
white my face looks. It takes all my color away.
Well, you don't have any makeup on.
I like it.
And just put some foundation on.
Yeah, get
Not
some
now,
foundation
but-
and some really, really loud eyeshadow and eyeliner. That always goes over well with a crowd in here. With the trolls.
Yeah.
Do a lot of eyeliner. Get some liquid eyeliner and do some wings.
Yeah.
I was gonna put some
Wing it?
foundation on now before I came, but
And,
then I thought,
and some very,
No,
very
I don't
dark,
let 'em see.
dark, bright eyeshadow.
No, No.
And then
no.
do some very, very blush up your cheeks. And
No, I think
some
it's
red
pretty, though. If
lipstick.
you-
Red lipstick.
No.
I like the color. It just washes me out though. I will put on, I always wear, it's not foundation, but it kind of looks like it. It's called Glow.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
it's probably a tinted moisturizer. Do you remember? I don't
use
know.
that a
I
lot.
don't know what comedian said it, but he said when women start to get really old, he said, "Here's what they do when they're going out of the house. They put on this red lipstick. They
Oh.
never comb the back of their hair. They only comb. They only do what they can see, and then they go, okay, let's go." They said that's what matters. They lipstick, and they never do the back of their hair, and they just go.
I won't wear red lipstick.
I don't wear red
only
lipstick
think that
either.
very few people can pull it off.
Yeah,
Very few.
right.
I don't like red. I wear more nudes and like sometimes
Yeah, me
a
too.
plum.
I don't like
Yeah.
red lipstick. I don't like it.
Yeah.
It looks like a
Yeah, I
clown
had
to
it
me.
spiked up a little earlier,
Yeah,
I went out.
seriously.
I did, but now it's fallen, but yeah.
Didn't you
I mean,
say
I
you
just
used to
gotta-
wear your hair spiked?
Sometimes, oh yeah,
Yeah.
I used to all the time.
Yeah.
Right now, I just feel like a clown, but
No.
I wanted to show as is before I have my glow on.
Do a makeup tutorial.
Thank you, Laura Lynn. Oh, I'm on my channel. I'm gonna do a mask. I have it right here. Gonna do it all live.
You go, girl.
I'm being sponsored
By
by I am being sponsored by Seventh Heaven.
oh, nice.
Very nice.
So if anyone would like to get a mask, and we will do this on my channel sometime live.
Is it a clay mask? Is that a clay what mask? Looks like a clay mask. It looks like a clay mask. It looks like a gray clay
Yeah,
mask.
well, it's activated charcoal,
Mm-hmm.
crushed witch hazel, and pressed birch leaf. Clean and dry your face, and empty entire sachet and apply thick layer onto the skin. Leave mask to work until it's dry or it won't work, and then peel it off.
It says that wait until it's dry or it won't work.
Yeah, it
It
has
says
it
that
in
or it won't
parentheses.
work.
Yeah,
Wait a
that's what
minute,
it
it's
says.
not that charcoal one, is it, Scooter, that pulls, that's hard to get
Yes,
off?
it is, yes. Detoxifying, why?
Well, sometimes when I've seen people do it, I don't know if it's the same one, I don't know. But,
They can't get it off.
yeah,
Really?
so you might wanna try just a little bit, maybe on your chin
No,
first.
why do that? That would be too easy.
No, I'm telling you, when I've seen some of them try to take it off, they're almost in tears, they can't get it off.
Well, that would be fun.
But I don't know that it's that one.
No, it's probably
I don't
not.
know.
Don't worry about it, Scooter. Just do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
All
I
right,
was gonna see if other people like Lisa H and Danielle C and whoever. Oh, she's saying it hurts.
Hi,
But
Erica Murray. When
Whoever
I
wants to
put
do it, we'll all
Did
do
you
it
try
together.
one?
Davita,
when I put
Carol,
in front of someone's name. Okay, here. How do I do it? I feel like I used to know. You know what, Erica? It only works for me on a computer to tag somebody. I can't do it on my iPhone. It doesn't work. Do you have an iPhone, Erica? You know, she's asking about tagging people. Scooter,
Oh, okay.
Well, I
Can
don't
you,
know how to do that either.
can you tag on your Android?
Oh, yeah. On my phone, yeah. I always do. Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I can't tag on my iPhone.
And I can't either, I don't think.
I can only tag on the computer.
Why?
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
I
See,
can't.
and you guys
Does
with your
anyone have an
iPhone.
iPhone that they can tag on? Do you have an iPhone, Shar? No, so
I
it won't
think-
work on Danielle's iPhone either.
Yeah,
Can
Erica,
you
if you
share?
have an iPhone, it won't work. You can, she can't exactly. You have it, Erica. I have an iPad, can't tag.
Lisa H, I just mentioned that I want to do a live sometime and we all do face masks. I got this. And no, wait, I didn't get this anywhere. I was sent this
Right, well, from your sponsorship, you have a
yeah, from
palette
your
out.
sponsor.
from a company,
Right.
Seventh Heaven. They're vegan approved. They are animal cruelty free. And they noticed that I am, in such buff shape. They said, "Are you a vegan?" And I said, "Yes, I am." So they sent me this.
Okay.
Wow.
You tag on your iPad, and Bradley? Okay.
Scooter Robbie Bob said that
Maybe
color
it's
makes your hair
because
look really
I'm not
thick.
on the computer. Yeah, try it on the computer, Erica. I think I can tag on my computer, my laptop, but I just can't do it on my iPhone. It won't do it on my iPhone.
Deb on the Move can do it on her iPhone.
Deb
How?
on the Move, she tags on her iPhone every night.
Huh.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know. I can't tag on mine.
Yeah,
Do you have an iPhone, Davita?
yeah.
Okay, Lisa H. I know she said she's doing bills for her mother right now.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Bills. Bills.
Shasha said, Scooter, I have
on the blank and then write the
Click
letters.
and then write the letters. Yeah,
when
I know.
dry peel it off.
I can't, but it still doesn't work.
That is weird. I wonder why.
I don't know.
So many things with the iPhones don't work. Well, I mean, really, they don't, right?
I can, and I'm on an Android. Yeah, the Android is working.
Mm-hmm.
I think
We're
I'll-
the best.
Yeah. You're the
Oh,
best.
stop.
How's Dave's mouth?
Oh yeah, how's Dave's mouth?
He said it's feeling better. Feeling better.
How'd your blood work go?
It's probably
Good.
fine.
Probably fine. Did you
We're gonna
go?
bother you every day about that.
Probably fine, she says.
I can't believe she didn't go again.
Can you believe
I
it
know.
was 86 today? Was it warm?
Oh, Davita, there's some black and white stuff in Walmart now
Really?
in the dish section. Yeah, I was really,
Really?
yes. I took a picture of it for you. Let me see if I can find it online. It was crazy. I was like, what the freak?
Penny, she said it was Applebee's that they ate at.
Poor Luke. He's probably scared to death.
He's like, I'm never having mozzarella sticks again.
Aw.
Never.
And he probably won't.
No, he probably won't. No, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're here. I can show them to you. Look at this. They're let me see if I can pull this up. Hold on, get rid of this. Rakuten. Remind me later, Rakuten. See you later, Rakuten.
Rakuten.
Yeah, they should get here. That's like one of the accessories, but let me show you. Where's my glasses? They're called Time and
It takes a minute. Mine lags so bad when you show something. Oh, Moo Two's here. Hi, Moo.
Hi, Mo.
Hey, Moo. Call in, Moo.
I still don't see it. Do you see it, Scooter?
What am I looking for?
What Carolyn's showing? Mine isn't.
Yes.
Oh, here
yes.
it goes. Here it goes. Oh, wow.
Wait, there's more
Oh, my
coming.
gosh.
They're just like they're in a different kind of pattern, but I was so surprised to see it.
Yeah, it's like a mandala.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then there's some more, and they also have like polka dots, and they have stripes, and lots of black and white there. Like
Did you take a picture of the polka dot?
yeah, I'm showing you one now. I'm showing you. There's more coming up.
Okay.
Keep watching.
Oh, those would look cute with it because they have gold around the rim, don't they?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that checker one's cute too. I mean, you know what I mean? It's got lines.
Right.
Those are cute.
But I've got something else for you. Hold on.
Yeah. Those are pretty.
Yeah, and apparently, Home Depot's doing them too.
Really?
Yeah, look at this, like the same exact thing. So look at that.
Huh.
And then they have a whole set. Like, see how they have a set of 4 different ones, and I took a picture. Walmart had 2 different like sets.
I'll have to go in there. Oh, that's cute.
What are these, Carolyn?
Oh, just stuff I'm showing Davita.
Plates, black and
Plates,
white.
black and white, because she likes black and white stuff.
Is it plates?
Yeah, she likes black and white stuff. So just showing her.
That's really cute. Oh, that's cute. Oh, yeah, they've got 4 different patterns. And this one's Home Depot.
Have you always liked black and white stuff, Davida?
Well, I love the color black in clothes. I mean, I wear black all the time, but house-wise, that probably started about maybe 3 years ago. Ooh, those are pretty too.
What? Oh, house-wise, you said?
Yeah. I mean, like accent, I mean, I wouldn't buy a black couch or anything like that, but, to accessorize with it.
So really, basically, whatever the trend is, that's what you go with?
No. I've had my living room furniture for 30 years. That's how trendy I am. Actually, I need to get my couch recovered. It's so old.
There's Ann Bradley. She's here to give us etiquette lessons. Her hallway is black and white and she loves it. Yeah, Sharon says you can buy ceramic tiles like that.
Yeah.
Hi, Deb on the move.
Hi, Deb on the move.
Hi, Deb on the
Because I don't
move.
want to get rid of my couch. I mean, it's really well built, and I like the design, the shape of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta find someone that's good at reupholstering. I gotta find the right.
Hello, friend, Faith Hope said.
Hi, friends.
Hello, friend.
Hi, friends. Hello, friends.
Gonna try to go to Aaron's farm tomorrow.
Down on Aaron's farm, they have a great.
Did they buy turkey?
Went there today and the gates were closed, so I didn't want to bother.
Did they find the turkey?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Last I checked.
Down on Aaron's farm, there's a great big turkey. Turkey.
I hope no one heard
always
it.
goes like this.
I know, right?
Turkey.
Hope it didn't end up in a pot, in an oven.
Oh.
Really stupid.
Down on Aaron's farm.
Hey again, Larky. Moo, call in.
This is pretty early for Moo, isn't it?
For Moo?
Yeah. Or is this regular time for her?
No, this is regular time, I think.
Oh.
I think this is what somebody has said. Down on Aaron's farm.
Aaron's Farm. Hey, pal. Aaron's Farm 14.
Yeah, Home Depot, Danielle.
Hi, Linda Uribe.
Hi, Linda.
Hi, Linda Uribe.
I said that right, didn't I? Uribe.
Yes, Linda Uribe. Linda Uribe.
Carolyn yelled at me last time.
Oh, stop. I did not. My goodness.
They write it a bunch of times. Not write it, but I had to record your last name and send it to you over and over, making sure I pronounced it right.
Oh, my goodness. Linda Uribe.
Hi, Kim Chihuahuas.
Repeat after me. Linda Uribe. Uribe. Linda Uribe. Hi, Linda Uribe. How are you?
Lexi?
She's fine. She's, in bed, sleeping for another fun day of school
Yeah.
on the couch. I did good. Yes, I did, right? Linda, your review?
Oh my gosh. So what happened? Um, you, so you went and got your hair color. What do you think about that car situation, Scooter?
What? Oh, I didn't.
You didn't listen to it?
No, I did. I don't. Did I miss much because I got to the part where
Oh gosh.
where
The
you
car
you
stunk
said
of
you
cigarette smoke, and then it
That's
was,
what I heard. Yes, that's
and then I
what it
put,
was,
and
right?
I did and I took a wipe, and I went and
Yes.
and I said, yeah, no,
Yeah,
not
I heard
having
that.
this. Yeah.
And how long do they think it's going to take to get yours fixed? Any
Well, they
clue?
said they're probably not even going to get it in for 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, so you're probably going to have to add that to the GoFundMe because they said I'm only going to get 30 days in the rental car. So they said that's probably going to be more. So can you add that to the GoFundMe and everything with the driver?
Yeah.
We're going to need a
Yes.
rental car stipend. All right,
Right. Okay. Yeah.
it's about 50
I have
bucks
a-
a day, and I don't know how
I
many
have
days
a-
we're going to need it for.
Right up the street here, right up the highway, is a car lot.
Yeah,
I could go there, and like do a live from there, just as a backdrop saying how.
yeah, that might be
going
good.
through. Yeah.
That might be good. Yeah, we're definitely going to need something.
Danielle sees she doesn't watch you.
So what did Danielle say? She doesn't watch you. Oh my goodness.
Sean Sneed, big hug and kiss to you.
We have all the Christmas wrapping paper came in this
Oh my
week.
goodness gracious.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Do you get anxious with that? Like, oh gosh, I have to buy that for that. And then you're like, oh wow, come on, stop.
No, not right now. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-uh. And a lot of fall stuff is coming in. A lot of it.
And you said people really buy it up, huh?
Oh, they do. Yeah, it's crazy. At Christmas time, when you would normally think to go start buying stuff,
Uh-huh.
it's so overpicked and people get so mad because, there's a lot of stuff is gone because they only give us so much. What they do is they look at the year prior and they see how you did. And so then they send you what was, what they see, what was bought the year prior, and they add a little to it. Well, people do buy it a lot when, like, in August, people will start buying a lot. And usually by, October, end of October, a lot of it is picked over by then. It's crazy.
Right.
Yeah, it's nuts. And that's why they do it, because it's supply and demand, that people want it, so they're going to put it out there.
Right, yeah. That's true. Moo's here.
Is it Moo?
Yeah.
Hi,
It
Moo.
is. It is.
I was afraid to come on because I don't want Scooter to lose her sponsorship
Oh,
because I have the world's best mask here.
that is the world's
Oh.
best.
Oh.
And I have it in the dark because I don't want to risk Scooter's income.
Oh yeah, her new sponsorship.
It's not on my channel. You don't have to worry.
Really? Can
Yeah.
I use my mask?
Yeah, you can show us.
Sure.
Okay. It's really good. It's you probably still can't see it. It's called Face Naturals. But it's absolutely amazing. I think this one is mango and honey.
Oh, wow.
And
Nice.
it's great. And I tell you, I had a real skin problem when I came here. And,
Shoot,
you
that's
know,
scary.
after just being so sick and run down, my skin is usually pretty good, but it got just horrible. But this really helped so much.
Or does it?
So Henny said it's a Pottery Barn mask.
Is it?
No, Henny just said that. She's joking.
Oh, okay.
Carolyn has given me the worst Pottery Barn reputation.
I know.
That is so funny.
Been on the farm.
Oh, I hear one of your cats.
Yeah, that's Milo. He's announcing.
Saying hi to everybody.
He just has to walk around and announce. Oh, here he is. Now he's here to say hi. Milo, come say hi. There he is.
Hey,
Come
Moo,
on.
Ann
Uh-huh.
Bradley wants to know who makes that mask that you have.
Oh, wait, let me get my magnifying. I think it's Face Naturals, but let me look with my magnifying glass.
Ann Bradley is our socialite, Moo.
I'm glad there's another socialite on here. Take the pressure.
You're both socialites.
Oh, I see. It's right on the lid. Oh my gosh, the things they say. Oh, now I don't think I want to put it on my face.
What?
It's just such an unappealing wording to me.
Face natural. Wait, I gotta check something. Hold on a minute.
Organic skin food.
I just
Sounds
got
so
something. I
Gross.
don't know what it is. Hold on a minute.
Where are you going,
I'm
Carolyn?
getting something.
It's okay, Scooter, we don't fight.
You're gonna laugh. I just realized that I have another box here, and this actually really is from a company that they sent to me. She just showed that.
Oh, wow.
Wait, what is that? Face Naturals or a different?
No, it's Nature's Beauty.
Oh, I see.
Plant-based beauty.
Sorry, I didn't have I have to look at everything with a magnifying glass. So annoying. Sorry.
Hi, Carolyn. We hope you love our stress relief collection. Have a great day, Nature's Beauty team.
Nice.
Let's see what they sent. Look, stress relief body scrub.
Wow.
And they sent, let's see, stress relief bath and body wash.
Well, open it up and smell it, see what it smells like.
And then they sent stress relief body butter. Hold on. So let's see what it smells like. Body scrub. I have to do an unboxing, but I'll just take a little. It smells like something I know. What is it?
Is it fruity?
No, it's not fruity. It smells like,
Makes me want to do a mask right this minute.
is it like, let's see, what does it say? It says elderberry eucalyptus. It says unwind and restore balance. For stress relief, body scrub. It's an exfoliator with antioxidants and elderberry extract. It has eucalyptus, naturally, I can't even see here. Naturally refines and buffs away dry skin. Let's see what it is. Shea butter combined with avocado and sweet almond oils help What do they help do? Helps leave skin feeling nourished and moisturized. This unique blend helps to balance and smooth your stressed skin. And there's no parabens, no sulfates, no phthalates, no gluten, no artificial colors, never tested on animals. Yes, naturally derived. Yes, vegan. Yes, it has clean ingredients. Yes, made in the USA.
What's the brand again?
Nature's Beauty. Stress relief solution. They have a sleep solution and they have a detox solution.
This one was lovingly made in the UK by Montague Janice Swansea something. And the warning says, here comes all the standard blah, blah stuff. It's really cute how they have it packaged. And the letter they sent was really nice.
Oh, listen to this. They're packing peanuts. Listen to this. They are biodegradable and they decompose in water.
Oh yeah, I've had a few shipments come in with those things. Crazy. I mean, it's good.
Yeah. And they feel really neat to squeeze. They get all like compressed.
Dear to Scooter Chick, as a recently 1,000 subscribers,
We're looking forward to working with you.
we noticed your channel and thought you may like to do this mask as an activity on your channel. We have a code here for anyone who would like to purchase our mask. They just put in your name to Scooter Chick and will receive 10 cents off.
10 cents off.
We really hope to work with you in the future. We offer a wide
variety.
We offer a wide range of products. We will send you one each week for you to test on your channel, your channel.
Very nice.
We will be watching and monitoring to see
I'll tell
how
them to watch quick.
yeah, isn't it? Thank you for considering us.
I like the way she starts laughing.
Penny Scooter's sponsorship. Moo, have you ever used your mask?
Oh, you mean this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. I got 3 different. I got these because of my Florida daughter. She's very forceful about organic stuff, and she also tries stuff out first before she tortures me with it. And so she gave me a sample of it, and I couldn't believe it. It was so amazing. And so I used hers and then ordered this flavor and another Dead Sea salt, or it's not salt, it's Dead Sea minerals or something, mask, and another that's pomegranate. But I gave her the pomegranate. It's okay, but it was a little fruitier than I don't like, I don't like smells on my skin.
Right.
And it was, I mean, this one has a sort of a honey. It's not that there's no smell. I'm very weird about scent. And the pomegranate one, it was fine, but it was just a little fruity. And I didn't want fruity on my face for 20 minutes. I used it, but I just gave it to her. You know, we just trade stuff. She likes fruity things and on her skin, and I don't. So we just trade. You know, if I don't like something, I give it to her, unless she hates it too. But I love this one. This one is great. It has a nice scent, but it isn't. It's not a fragrant. It doesn't have the word fragrance. The problem with the word fragrance in the United States is that the word fragrance itself means it's a proprietary mix. And in that mix, you do not know what it is.
Oh,
And that's why if I get stuff where it's fragrance free, and then they have to tell you if there's something scented in there, what the scent came from. But the word fragrance already hides an entire cocktail of what a manufacturer has to tell you. They don't have to tell you a thing beyond the word fragrance, and that's why I don't buy those, because it can cause real problems for me. It's not that everything that has a fragrance is going to be bad. What it means is that the word fragrance could be anything of several thousand ingredients, and you don't know what any of them are because it's proprietary. So.
Oh, okay.
It's,
Sorry, Namu, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
oh, no, that's okay. So this actually, it's not that it isn't scented, it's just that what's in there is not, it doesn't have some unidentified chemical that could, cause problems for some people, so. There's I haven't looked lately because my life has changed so much. I just don't have to watchdog all this stuff. But there's this group, the Environmental Working Group.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
They actually analyze all of the and rank all the dangers of various things that have the chemicals that are in cosmetics, because cosmetics, they're put on your skin in layers. I mean, people put all this stuff on themselves and it's fine. I mean, I did all my life until I became sensitized. But the thing is, you put, everything has a layer of scent in it, soap, conditioner, hair conditioner, masks, skin lotion, everything, hand sanitizer, everything. And you don't know, you're putting on something with the word fragrance 27 times a day or more. And the problem with the word fragrance is it contains things, and the Environmental Working Group, the reason I mention them, is they analyze products, and they'll tell you if the word fragrance in the case of some product, that it'll contain benzene, xylene. These are really toxic chemicals, and they'll break down the ingredients and have them chemically analyzed, and they'll tell you if this fragrance contains those things. So, and those are the things that really affect me, because I was exposed to benzene, toluene, and xylene in the dark rooms I worked in. I worked in color labs, and also formaldehyde. And huge reactions to some of these things, and they're not good for anybody. I mean, nobody should be putting benzene on their faces, you know, it's just nuts. But unfortunately, in the United States, the chemical industry, they can put benzene, toluene, xylene, all these big, they're hugely toxic things, and they build up in your body. And they, you know, I don't want to get preachy about it. It's only because it affected me, you know, personally. But there are things that they really affect everybody. It's just that most of the time it's silent. But the Environmental Working Group is really good at that, because they'll say, well, here's what it is, you know, go put it on your skin and hair if you want to, but it's, here's what's in it, and you can decide, you know. But for me, it's just easier to put anything with the word fragrance on out of there.
You said it's called Face Naturals?
This is Face Naturals.
Because Susie B's looking it up online and she can't find it.
Right, I'll see if I can find a link.
Thank
What
you.
are you looking at, Carolyn?
Oh, I'm just looking at food storage.
Food storage?
Yeah.
What?
Are you being a prepper now?
No, not at all. No, not at all. Prepper. No.
Well, what do you know? Now she's gonna be making those bento boxes.
Oh no. No way.
What'd you call that, Davida?
The bento boxes.
No, I don't know what that is.
Oh, this is hilarious. The first, God. The first thing that pops up. Environmental Working Group. Skin
Wow.
Deep. It's called Skin Deep. If people
Right.
want to look up their stuff, go to EWG Skin Deep. It's a huge database, and you can find out everything you want to know before you put it in your skin. But anyway, I'm trying to find it. I'm probably gonna like drive it into the ground. I don't think I had no reaction to it. It doesn't smell bad to me, but
I don't see Kevin.
oh, okay. So who was asking about Face Naturals?
Susie B.
Okay, Susie B. It's just called facenaturals.com.
Can you hold it up a little bit longer so she can see it?
I'm trying to hold my shaky ancient hands still. Why doesn't it focus? Can you see it? Oh, wait, let me give you a bigger. Here's it won't focus. It says, it's just facenaturals.com.
She should be able to see that. You can pause it, Susie B, if you can't see it. Pause for a second and look at it.
Not only is my hand not that steady, Milo's grooming himself, so it's it's earthquaking my bed.
Everybody's quiet tonight, huh?
Yeah.
Just wait for your stories.
She got it, Moo. She said, thank you.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, it's probably filled with chemicals, and I didn't even realize. But I doubt that. My daughter is just like such a policeman about this stuff.
Your New York daughter isn't as much?
Oh, both of them are. But my Florida daughter is, they're both, oh man, you should meet these kids scooter. Oh, God.
I'd love to.
All of you, not just limited to scooter, but I mean, they're very funny. But no, they're both these little. They're not little, they're big like me, but they're like little warriors of getting facts straight. They do their research. Everything has to be researched. And I mean, it makes them sound boring when they're really very funny. But they're not alike at all. I mean, you would not believe that these two children were, baked in the same recipe in the same oven. Like, just amazing. They look alike, but they're so different. But they have these little traits, and they look everything up. God, they keep me in line. Oh. What is a mask? Is it a cleanser? I don't get it.
What, yours?
No, I'm looking at their website and yeah, okay. Just give me a dang mask. I want to look up the masks. Oh, looks like, they're on sale. Okay. So they have this pomegranate antioxidant mask, and I liked it. I just didn't feel like smelling like fruit,
Oh, that
And
just
yeah.
reminded me. Sorry, that just reminded me when you said pomegranate. Carolyn, did you try that something that Tammy sent you?
Yeah, well, yes, I've had it. I've had a little bit of it.
Oh, okay.
Wait, palm what?
Oh, palm blueberry.
Oh, did that come in a neat bottle?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love that. I used to drink that in New York. I mean, I'm sure it's here, but it just hasn't been in front of my face, so I haven't seen it. But
Yeah,
In
I'm
New
gonna have a
York,
little more of it
those-
maybe in a few minutes.
I like that. I like their bottles. There's something. Is it like a round?
Mm-hmm. Like a
But I
snowman
mean,
kind of
I-
with a snowman with a neck kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like what's in it too. I wasn't buying stuff in the bottles. but
Right. Yeah.
The packaging is nice.
Yeah. It is. No wonder my
Oh,
glasses.
so they
are
have
so
pure. They have pure Dead Sea mineral masks with pure Dead Sea black mud. Have any of you ever been to Israel or to the Dead Sea?
No.
No, but I would love to.
Oh my! Oh God! You owe it to yourself.
I don't think you'd like to go there now.
No.
Well, it depends.
Carol.
If you know your way around.
Well, they're
you can
having
do
a
it.
war
Right.
right
It's
now.
not- No, I know that. My daughter was actually living there during the 2014 thing,
Right.
and that was a really harrowing time in my life because the sirens would go off, and here she is with her poor little cats,
Right.
trying to explain to them that they have to go to a safe place in their apartment.
Wow.
And rockets are just, flying into, they lived in Tel Aviv. She went to college, she was finishing school there, because she went there because in this country, it's really hard. It's not so easy to get an education, but, for the money. I mean, it's easy to get an education, but anyway, so she went there to finish college, basically with a stipend and free college.
Mm-hmm.
So she went to Tel Aviv University, and it's a great place, great education. You get good health care and everything. And in return, it's basically you have to sort of do community service. But anyway, she did that, but she was there during that last uprising in 2014, and it was just I can't even tell you. I mean, it's so horrifying. When your family is there and the rockets flying in, and it's not, it's not a matter of sides. I have also other. I know a lot of people there. I mean, people are not all political. People are whether they're Palestinians, Arabs, Jews, Israelis, whatever they are. It's not everybody there is. People are trying to live. They're trying
Yeah.
to just live and go to work and live with each other and get along. And it's not easy.
No, not at all.
And no matter who you are, it's not easy. And it was horrible. And these rockets are flying in, and my God.
Did you go visit her over there?
Well, I haven't been on an airplane until I came here. I haven't been on an airplane since 1984, and I wasn't flying anywhere. I love to fly about as much as Carolyn does, but my son-in-law's a pilot, so they came here all the time. I don't know if I told you this, but they could fly. I mean, flying to Israel costs a fortune. I mean, it's it's a lot of money, and they were living there permanently. They live in New York now, but they were living there at the time. And I told my daughter I'd gone to this place down near where I worked that was to get you guys would go nuts. It was just filled with fabric and everything you need to sew or craft, basically. But this was more like sewing and knit, everything, to do with that stuff. And I had gone there because I worked there. I mean, I could go into all these cool New York, Lower Manhattan shops. It was just great. And I went in and I can't find it yet. I'm going crazy, but I had all these organizers stuffed with every shade of thread that I could possibly want for the way, the colors I use. So it was like a rainbow of beautiful thread, high quality thread and great yarn and everything was just great. And I'd gotten these organizers from Amazon that you guys have too. They're cool. You just organize the heck out of everything. And I'd filled a whole organizer. It was just beautiful. And I'd love to show you if I could just find the dang thing. And I showed my daughter. I said, "Look at it! I got all my thread and my sewing stuff and my crafting things because I was doing good crystal necklaces and stuff, and had everything in these little organizers." And I told her, I said, "I got all this stuff. Look, all my thread and everything was where I needed it to sew." And she's like drooling on FaceTime. She's like, "Oh my God." So, she was having a hard time even getting a sewing machine here. And so she was just going nuts. And so she flew in the weekend. She said, "I'm going to fly home and pick up some thread." So she flew all the way from Israel, which is about a 12-hour flight. And she flew all the way to Manhattan from Tel Aviv. And we went, to Lower Manhattan. She was there for 2 days. And we did a whole thread thing. We picked up all these threads and needles and different sewing, all the stuff you need for all the stuff that all of us love to do. And, she went back with all this stuff. And it was so, I don't mean to say this in a disrespectful way, but it was so first world. I mean, can you imagine how ridiculous this is, where you fly to New York for, 2 days, take a 12-hour flight for 2 days, because you can do that it costs her $25 to fly. And it makes all the difference. The world is a whole lot smaller when you can fly anywhere in the world for $25.
That'd be fantastic.
Oh, it was amazing, and I mean, I don't fly, but they flew all over the world. I mean, they were still flying all over the world to the pandemic, but you know, they'd go to Johannesburg for the weekend, which is a totally interesting cultural experience. I mean, it's amazing. And then you go to Barcelona for the weekend or for the week, and you know, however long they had free time, they could fly there for nothing wherever they wanted to go, and they still can, but for the pandemic. But anyway, oh, but the thing about Israel was, I went to Israel in '84, and at that time, it was just before there was some other uprising. And when I was there, somebody got shot on the beach um, near where I was, but it wasn't like that. And things were still kind of normal. And, ev you know, Palestinians and Israelis all worked side by side. You know, everybody worked together. And maybe, you know, people didn't love each other's politics, but it was, or any of it. I mean, it's all nuts. I don't want to get into a discussion about that stuff. But, you know, most people are trying to just live their lives, you know,
Yeah.
and
Right. Yeah.
go to their jobs and be friends with people, you know,
Right.
and it's really hard to do. You know, it's weird. I'm talking funny because I can tell you guys privately. I'm not going to get into it. It's just that during that last uprising, there's a family connection that made that like super interesting. Oh my God.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's just unbelievable. I don't mean to be coy, but I'll tell you privately. I can't say it here. I just can't. But it just
Why
made
not?
like
All our secrets.
what?
I said, why not? I tell all our secrets.
Yeah, but this is like telling other people's secrets.
It's good at just that too.
Well, it's good. Text it to you and you keep it to yourself.
You know, that tastes like wine.
What? What is it?
I didn't know. I just had some of this and it tasted like wine.
Oh, the
Kombucha.
kombucha.
Yeah. Hope I'm
How
not
long
gonna get.
does that last? Because I still have some down in Buffalo.
And
It's in the
maybe it
refrigerator.
lasts. What's the worst that's gonna happen? It turned into wine.
Okay. I can handle that, I guess. Tell us some more good stories, Moo. You always have good stories.
Half the stories I can't even tell you. I just get in so much trouble.
I wish you could tell us about your dates and everything, you know.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I wish I could tell you about my first marriage. You know what? It's interesting. I'll tell you something about it because of the situation with Bianca. Interestingly enough,
Mm-hmm.
you know, she was. I don't know where I saw, you know, the usual disparaging, stupid remarks, but, you know, she had wanted to keep this young man at arm's length.
Mm-hmm.
And she was obviously an intelligent and stunningly beautiful young woman. And she simply was trying. Oh, also, I found a picture of him. You know, we were talking about
Right.
the real mugshot.
Mm-hmm.
And I found this sort of vulnerable shot of him because I was like, yeah, I wonder what he did look like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You can see he was just like a vulnerable kid, but that's another story. I have the picture. I'll show you the ones I found. You know, he's just like a vulnerable looking kid. He doesn't look like that thuggish, crazy person in the photos that we see from court. But anyway, she was just this lovely, intelligent, and young woman, and you know, she didn't want to get involved with him. And back in late 60s and early, I was, well, in 1969, I was 18.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I was not a frisky person. In the 60s, people, we were talking about that one, and people were frisky, and I wasn't.
I was pregnant with Carolyn then.
Wait a minute, that's 29 years ago.
I know.
Oh my gosh. But in the 60s, I mean, I wasn't even dating people when I was 18. I was dating people, but not like that, you know? And when I got into my 20s, it was horrible because I was also, I was a tall young woman that, people were, I just felt pressure all the time to model. It was horrible because that's not, I can't even tell you how not my personality stuff like that is.
Right.
I'm a grubby little person who likes, I was interested in going into the car and changing the oil. I really hated this beauty stuff. Even though I have my fancy little mask here, I really, it's not my thing. And the pressure to do this stuff was huge on me. And I had men drooling over this person that they thought I was. And all I was tall and probably not that terrible to look at, but it wasn't how I existed for myself. I was more interested in, looks were not a thing. You know what I mean? It was excruciating. If you're trying to be invisible and people are always grabbing you and making comments and always, it was nobody ever wanted to just sit and have a conversation. I know that sounds stupid, but it's really gross. And, when they were talking about Bianca and she's trying to keep this guy at arm's length, that's a very hard thing to do.
Right.
I mean, if you like Bianca and somebody, gets obsessed with you, it's not an easy thing. It's really not easy. And you're innocently thinking, well, I'll just say, let's just be friends. And in my mind, that was good enough. It's like, well, if I'm not interested in you, why would you be interested in me? And I was not interested in many, I just wasn't interested in most people. So, but there's always this pressure that, that you have to, so the pressure. And, I just felt so bad for her because she's trying to be friends with this guy. She could have been mean and said, "Ew, you're gross, get away from me, I don't want to have anything to do with you," but she's just trying to be friends with him. And, that is good enough for some people. And it's really horrible because you're so objectified, and I know it's hard for someone to feel sympathetic towards someone, as beautiful as she was, but you really feel objectified. And you get it, it hits you when you're tall like that, and it hits, not just the height, but you look at her and you can see where people would be drooling over her. And it hits you wherever you go. Nobody ever cares about your personality, whether you're funny, whether you're smart, whether you have interest. All they care about is that you're this object.
Right.
So my long story is when I was how old was I? I was 25. I got married just to make it stop. My first marriage was a marriage of convenience, was to just make it stop. I could not emotionally handle it. I wasn't mature enough to deal with being out in the real world. and I got married just to make it stop. And my ex-husband, I mean, it was a marriage. We were like best friends, but neither of us should have been married to each other. It was a marriage of convenience for both of us. He had other reasons.
Yeah, he had a daughter, didn't he?
Yes, but a lot of people who would prefer not to be married to ladies have children.
No, I mean, didn't he have a daughter?
Yeah, he did, but he didn't. He married 3 times, but he again, this is the old days. A lot of people who, in this day and age, probably wouldn't marry women. They married women in those days to mask their. He wasn't really interested in women.
Yeah.
And I literally was marrying my best friend so that I would stop having. I could not emotionally. I'm not a people person. I don't understand human beings very well, and I couldn't take it anymore. And when you are that emotionally immature, sometimes people just get married so that they can say, "Oh, I'm married." That's the end of that conversation. So, but the thing is, when you enter a marriage like that, that's full of stories. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I would love to hear them.
Oh my God. But
Nobody's
then when
ever
I got
gonna
married,
know.
what?
Nobody's ever gonna know.
Well, also my first husband passed away, and
Right.
according to the rules of YouTube, that means I can tell all the. Oh my God! Something just came into my head. If I told you this, you would die. Oh my God! If we can do a secret Zoom meeting, I could tell you stories. You would absolutely faint. Oh my God! I'm laughing so hard thinking about this guy. But the thing is, that, since he's passed away, according to YouTube, I could tell you every dirty secret of his little secret life, and that would be fine, right?
Well, just pretend like it's a couple that you knew.
A couple?
Yeah, a couple that you were friends with.
Oh, she means like, just say the story, but just say it's about someone else. No one will ever know.
I'm just laughing about the term couple because our relationship was already fraudulent, really. It was a way to avoid. It was basically a way to avoid. It's like to have a cover. You get to live a normal life and not have people after you that you don't want after you. So when it just made me laugh to think about a couple I know, because it's not really a couple in the true sense of the word. And Scooter, if I get the courage, I'll email you one story, and it's so embarrassing you won't even be able to tell anybody.
Oh, Moo, come on, give us a hint. Everybody else.
No, I'm gonna text it to you later. I can't. When I tell you this story, you're gonna understand. I can't. There's no part of it that I can tell you. I just can't. Not on YouTube. I could tell you 3 privately, but I can't tell YouTube.
Yeah, everybody's saying that's not nice because that's not sharing with the whole class.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, this is a human being that, my God. It was so funny because of this particular thing. When we got divorced, he went crazy over this particular thing. And he thought I had this thing. And it was a photograph. And that's all I'm going to say about it here. But it was a photograph.
Cross-dresser.
No, it wasn't anything like
Scooter.
that.
She's trying so bad to get.
Now I'm going to tell Scooter, I'm going to text her as soon as I stop running my stupid mouth. I'll text it to you right now, Scooter. You won't, but you'll be too embarrassed to repeat it when I tell you. And I beg you not to. I
I
know.
will-
She won't
I
be
know
too
you
embarrassed
do.
to repeat it. She's repeated so many things
This
that, and especially if they're not about her, she doesn't care.
this is so bad.
Oh no, she loves to repeat bad information. As long as it's not about her, she likes to do that.
No, but this is embarrassing.
She
This
loves
is
that
so
stuff.
Embarrassing. Anyway, this embarrassing thing ended up in a photograph. It had nothing to do with me. I learned early on. Nobody has
Wait. I think I know. He had like some kind of
a fetish.
deformity.
Device. No, he had to have a device
No,
to have
no
relations.
No devices. No, he was actually very mundane. There was nothing. But this particular thing was sort of like hilarious, and it ended up there anyway. So there was a photograph, and he went crazy. He thought I had this photograph. I said, "Why in the hell would I have that photograph? I mean, I want nothing to do with that photo. First of all, it had nothing to do with me anyway. It wasn't my photograph." And he went out of his mind. And I said, "Well, I don't have it, so you can stop asking me about it. I don't have it." And then later he located it. He was so relieved. I mean, I thought he was going to explode over this. But there's a lesson in this. Be careful about photographs.
Did he have a fetish of some kind?
No.
Screw's trying.
No.
How, okay. He didn't have like one of those, like this spine comes out and looks like a tail.
Oh my God. No, if you saw this person, you would think that this was a very attractive, intelligent person. He was considered attractive.
Well, yeah, but a tail you wouldn't see.
Now, if you stripped him naked, he looked fine. He was all within normal limits. No, he was
a
fine.
cross dresser.
He's driving Scooter nuts.
No, I mean, he wasn't entirely interested in ladies, but that's fine.
This was your first husband?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
You think it was?
He wasn't entirely interested in ladies, and did you have any idea of that?
No, as I said, this was a marriage of convenience. So yes, I knew all about that.
Oh, okay.
We certainly knew each other's secrets, but the thing is, there are certain things about it. Anyone who knows him, I mean, that wouldn't come as a huge shock to a lot of people. That this person might waver from one side to the other, but that was that really wasn't the issue. The issues sat elsewhere, but it did lead to. The thing is, when you live in places like New York and DC, the way people have high tolerance for unusual marital arrangements. In this case, this was basically having a non-marriage so that you could avoid, so that you can get over life.
And whatever.
But did he ever call you Esther?
What?
Did he ever call you Esther?
Esther?
Yeah, oh my gosh. Okay, okay. There was this really creepy older guy, because I think he was like, probably like 65 years old. Baby,
Oh,
and no, I'm serious. This is a true story.
You're saying an older guy. That's a year younger than me.
No, but when you're a lot younger, okay? And
Yeah.
I'm not talking about now, okay? Listen to me. And he was like did very well in his life, and apparently had been married, but he had never had any children. And he was still friends with his ex-wife. Okay? And he said to me, he would like me to have his children. I am not joking, okay? And I said, I am sorry, but that age difference is absolutely ridiculous, okay?
Wow.
And the guy got upset. He goes like this, well, I could have my ex-wife talk to you. Okay, I'm serious. He goes, I am a very good guy. I have always taken care of any woman in my life, and I'm trying to remember. I just got this creepy feeling, Moo, that he could be your ex-husband or something. And he said, I'm still friends with my ex-wife. And I said, you're still friends with your ex-wife? That's creepy beyond creepy. I said, because at that time I was like, but he was like more than like, they were like going out together all the time. And I was like, well, wait, that sounds really weird. So, then I felt like The Handmaid's Tale or something, right? Like, what the hell is going on? And then I said, no. And then he got very out of me. He goes like this, so what does that mean? That I've lost all my ability to have children? And I'm telling you, I was just like, wow, this guy is like creepy beyond creepy. And but the way he told me he was still friends with, and I can have her talk to you, and she can tell you what a good guy I am, and all of this stuff. And I was just like, that was beyond creepy, and I just ran. Didn't walk, I ran.
Oh my
But
God.
he was a very well-to-do guy and just had never had children, and then now at this age desperately wanted them for like a legacy.
Oh my God.
And so was trying to get someone to carry his children.
Oh my
It's
word.
crazy, but
Wow.
I
When
think
I
he said his
found
ex-wife was named Esther, but maybe not. But now
See,
I don't know, just
now I
something with your
understand why you're-
story just made it sound like this guy. I don't know why.
No, this guy, for one thing, he was let me see, four and a half years older than I.
I thought you were gonna say he was 4.5 feet tall.
Oh no, he was really, he was a nice looking guy, and he was tall. He was
Did he like to wear members only jackets?
he could get pretty he did dress well. I mean, this is not hard for you to figure out. In the old days, I realize I'm like a senior member here. In the old days, there are a lot of people whose lives would have been a little different if they weren't in closets. And
Right.
this was a person who never knew whether he was in or out of he didn't know where he fit in the world. He literally didn't. And the first time he married young, gosh, how old was she now? I mean, it's really funny because I'm in touch with his daughter, who's my stepdaughter. She just turned 50 last December. She turned 50, and I met her when she was 4. And I can't believe this, but I mean, I'm still in touch with my both ex-husbands' families. I'm more so with my second one because I have children with him. But his first marriage, he was only 21, 22. And again, this was a foreign service marriage. He married someone he knew from the foreign service. We got married. We were tied together by the foreign service. And the other thing is, foreign service does weird things to you socially. And it's very hard for you to connect with Americans, frankly. It still is. Americans don't operate like people in the rest of in the civilized world. It was a very different thing. And there were a lot of suicides too. People come back to America and they just freak out. And so what happened was he ended up marrying this woman he met through the Foreign Service. And then a year or so later, they had a little baby girl in 1970. And then by the time she was 2, they were already divorced. They were long divorced by the time, they'd been divorced like 2 years by the time I came along. But in the real world, this guy would not have married a woman. I'm not sure. He wasn't interested. He was never interested in women,
Mm-hmm.
and he hadn't figured out what to do about the alternative. I'll put it that way. And but he married. He fathered this little daughter because he did manage to do that once. But it wasn't, it wasn't his thing. And so then she moved on and she remarried, and she married a really nice guy, a normal, regular, and normal is not the right word for this, because I don't mean I'm not going to pin labels on someone. But she went into a normal marriage, I'll put it that way. And she had 2 children, and everybody's all happy and successful now, and everything turned out wonderfully. But this is a really sad story. And he had a lot in his past. There were a lot of things. And then after me, but the thing was, there was a really strong, it's hard to explain this, but people from my generation and earlier, we were you didn't even talk about stuff like that. It could cost you your job, your everything. It could cost you everything. And so people got married all the time who shouldn't have, married someone of the opposite sex. And it was no joke. People could lose their careers if someone outed them. And so a lot of people couldn't even function. And so they're zillion, and even today there are marriages of convenience. There are people who are married who only got married so that they wouldn't be outed. I'll put it that way.
Right.
And then he married a 3rd time. And, the problem with him was he tried to hold women to the standard. It's sort of like, well, you not only have to pretend we have a real marriage, but you also have to be absolutely faithful to me, which means, celibacy, basically. So that kind of doesn't work out. I don't know the 3rd wife. I knew everybody else, but I didn't know the people that followed. And things went very badly for him in that marriage. And I was in touch with him. We got back in touch later. He met my kids, and they were old enough that I could sort of explain stuff to him. And he came up and went out to lunch and had dinner a few times. But by then he was living up in Connecticut, and it's just. It's so hard for people to understand that in the old days that your very income, everything about your life was in jeopardy if someone found out. I know that sounds dramatic, but that's the way it was. And so people in that situation didn't talk about it. You only knew what you knew from social circles.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's not like it is now.
Oh my God, no. But that other layer of life was vibrant. I mean, in DC, you wouldn't believe it. I mean, in those days, people who, gay people would go to. None of it makes sense now, because if I talk about the areas in Washington, D.C. where nobody would go, this is where the rich people live now.
Yeah.
But in the 60s and 70s, you wouldn't go there. You wouldn't go there to these neighborhoods. But I'm trying to think last time I was hanging out. And oh, the other thing is I was heavily working in theaters. I was doing a lot of stage managing, and I was considering becoming a stage manager professionally, and like on Broadway theaters and stuff. I was really into that. I loved it. And if you're in theater work, you're going to meet people, all kinds of people, and there's a subculture that regular folks aren't going to know about, and it's a vibrant, talented subculture. It's where so many, it's like so many Disney movies come out of this subculture. People don't want to admit that, but it's the truth. There's this vast bunch of talented human beings who've had to live these horrible secret lives. But anyway, back in the 60s and 70s, because I was always hanging out with musicians and people in the theater and all these folks, these were the folks that I hung out with. I'd go to these places, and you drive, hop in your car, drive into a neighborhood you wouldn't go to during the day, but you go there at night with your friends, and you pull into a warehouse parking lot, and just horrifying areas. Go in, there'd be a big warehouse, just a warehouse, no windows, and cars parked outside. That's it, nothing else. And you go to a door, it's like a speakeasy.
Oh my gosh.
Or you go to a loading dock. But this was by then, the early 70s, mid 70s. And go to a loading, and you go with friends. I mean, it's stupid. You didn't go there by yourself and then walk up to a place like that by yourself. But when you went inside, it was like walking into a ballroom at the Ritz. I'm telling you, you never saw such decor. You never had such food.
Where was this at, Moo?
These were the basically the gay bars of the 60s and 70s, because they were I can't even tell you how people were treated. Here now and then. Now you hear about Matthew Shepard, or you'll hear about hatred against gay people, but you can't even imagine how savage it was if someone thought that you were gay. But the thing is that it never stopped people from socializing. It never did. All it was underground. And you go to these places and you wouldn't even know how to get there. You had to know somebody to even know where you would go to get into something like this. And it was great. I mean, these weren't like orgies or anything else. It's like all the people you've read about, like if you read about people from the 20s and 30s, that Dorothy Parker and the Marx Brothers, all those people hung out with. There was this subculture then too. It's just that nobody talked about it, and you wouldn't know about it unless you were in the group, and then it was normal. It was like normal life. It's just people trying to live their lives, but really weren't allowed to. And so there's nothing, we weren't going there and doing drugs or doing anything. It was just, and there were a lot of people, when I say we, there were a lot of, again, because I was so socially, not typical, but I guess to say neurotypical is one way to put it. But I mean, I'm just like, not good with people, and certainly not with romantic situations. Were just horrific for me. And there's a term, I'm afraid to use it, but somebody as old as I am would know what it was. But basically there were ladies like me that looked good and we would be there's a term for it. It's the initials are FH.
Yeah, I know what it is.
And so that's what I was. I was just a born FH. And it was great because I could socialize
I
with
don't know
most
what that is.
Huh? What?
I don't know what an
You don't know what it
FH
is?
Never heard that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, I can tell you the second word, but I ain't going to tell you the first. I'll let you figure that one out. But you know what? The second word is hag, H-A-G. The idea was that a gay man who had to put up a front, say like Rock Hudson.
So now it's called a what do they call it now? It's one
A
word.
beard?
No,
They call them their beard or
yeah,
something?
the beard, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
that was the other thing is beard. That's a more up to
Yeah.
that's a more up to date term. But in
Yeah.
in the old days it was called an F hag.
H and FH. Yeah.
And so that's what I was. And that was fine with me because it kept me, I was very happy socially. I could hang out with guys all I wanted, and I could hang out with ladies all I wanted, but I didn't have this constant pressure where you had to put out. And I'm saying,
Yeah, right.
that's the way it was. I was not a put out kind of person. It just made me want to, I couldn't stand it. I mean, I was so unbelievably, the idea of somebody touching me was so repulsive to me. I can't even tell you, unless I really, really, really was emotionally involved. And I know that sounds stupid, but that's how oh my God. The idea of someone putting a finger on me just made me want to scream and run out of the room. I just socially not like that. But this way,
You have good stories. You've really lived,
you know what? That's the truth. I was thinking that I really did. I mean, I really had a lot of things are really terrible, but these were fun times, and it's so stupid. Can you imagine how stupid it is that human beings have to drive to like secret warehouses? So they go in a dirty loading dock looking door and go into what's basically a palace with the best food you could ever eat and funny, talented people that are making the movies that your kids love to watch. All these people had to live secretly because they weren't allowed to, love each other. I'm not trying to get on a soapbox here, but this is what it's like.
Yeah, that's history.
Yeah, and you can't beat stuff out of people. It's
still not 100% accepted today.
Oh, not at all, not at all. And it's such a relief to be my age because I can be around anybody now. I mean, none of that. That's hard. Well, that sort of sounds like a non sequitur. It isn't, but life is so much easier once it's different now. It's different because of my age. It's different because of the way things are. But I don't think it's easier for kids. And, the reason I brought up Bianca is because of this whole business with incels. And I don't know if that guy, I don't know that he was an incel, but there's this whole thing where women are supposed to be punished because they don't want you putting your hands on them, which to me is absolutely revolting because it changed the course of my life. I made decisions just so that I could make it easier on myself. But the idea that someone could innocently and honestly say, well, let's be friends. And somebody, if you say that to a guy or to a woman, that person should honor that. But the reality is that there's some people who will not.
Yeah.
But to demonize women for who was that guy? Was it Santa Barbara or something? I can't remember that little. Oh God, I can't think of his name. Not Richard something. There was a kid that went shot up all these people a few years ago. Richmond, for some reason, his name sticks.
I have a
He
quick
was a
question.
young man, and he sat in his car and videotaped himself talking about, and he was classified as an incel.
Richard
and he
Ramirez?
What was that?
Was it Ramirez?
No,
Oh, yeah.
not a serial killer. This was
Oh.
a young man who was like an incel, you know.
Oh.
He was rejected, he felt rejected by ladies, and so he went, for some reason, I think it was Santa Barbara, but it was, I don't know where it was somewhere in
I
California.
have a just quick. I have a quick question, because is Star Marie saying she's the person that sent me that thing from Illinois? Is that why she's saying Illinois? Star Marie, did you send me a package? Because I have a package that I don't know who it's from. It's from someone in Illinois, and their first name looks like it's Shari. Or it could be Marie.
It might be her. It might be her.
And I just saw her put Illinois, so I don't know. I'm just asking. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Moo.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just fell down a rabbit hole trying to look up this guy, this young man. What the hell is his name? Anyway, the thing is, everything has changed, but it really, things still haven't changed. People, you know, gay people get married now, and I personally, I think that's great. I mean, as far as marriage as an institution, whatever, I don't even want to get into that, but at least that people can be with each other and not be tortured to death.
Right.
Is great. That's great, and it would save a lot of people, you know, entering false marriages who, who probably shouldn't be in them. This whole incel movement of demonizing women who just say no to you, it's like, screw you, go be a better person. If nobody's interested in you, maybe it's because you're a creep. You know?
Right. Yeah.
So in some ways things are a lot better, but the problem is that human beings, there's always this little vein of rot of, people telling other people what they can and cannot do at every level. Every level, whether it's who they choose they happen to fall in love with, whether they go to Dollar Tree more than someone thinks they should.
There are addictions to the Dollar Tree, though.
What?
There are those that are addicted to the Dollar Tree, and that.
I know, but what I'm saying is, what should the penalty? Is the penalty for that execution, or should we just torture you to death over that?
I think I'm just doing a 12-step program.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm going to be starting online meetings too for it, because I think there's a lot of people. I think like a lot of these bloggers and stuff that are doing the vloggers that are doing the holes every week. Like I know a few that probably will come.
Oh my God. Oh man.
Davita's the first with me. She's trying her sobriety.
Yeah.
We both started today. We'll see who holds out the longest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just too much. It's too much.
It's scary, but one step at a time.
One step at a time.
1
I
minute
know. I
at a
was
time.
backing up when I saw that title.
I'm gonna get those blinder things so that when you're driving by, you can't see it. Like when I know I have to go to Tractor Supply or something, and it's next to the Dollar Tree, I'm gonna put those big blinder things on like a horse wears.
Carolyn, my problem is worse because I would have to have my fingers amputated because my shopping is on my iPhone with my fingers.
Yeah.
It's all finger
Well,
shopping.
I was looking at vacuum sealers and carpet cleaners, and I don't even know what the hell I was looking at while you were here. So, but I didn't buy anything, so that's good.
Yeah, but the buying thing, I mean, oh my God. If you saw the the loading dock of my house, a special delivery dock that the Amazon people have to come to. I mean, you know, when you were talking about that fewer packages thing, you know, you have this option
Yeah.
on Amazon to get it a day or two later.
Right.
It actually made me laugh because that's really, it's not directed at,
Gosh.
bless you, it's
Thank
not
you.
directed at a normal person like you, Carolyn. That offer is directed at people like me because you probably, I think I showed you a doorbell shot of what my house looked like when they suddenly, my front door was almost obscured by the piles of boxes in front of it at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's actually very valid with someone like me who literally, I do virtually all of my shopping except for the Publix, I do online. And only recently I've ventured out to, what do you call it, Home Depot. And that only because I can get curbside service. The only part of Home Depot I'm willing to walk into is the plant, you know, the greenhouse part. But you can't get me inside a store. You have to put a gun to my head. So I just
Oh, we
can't
wouldn't want
stand
that. That Scooter
Well-
might be down there. Scooter got arrested because Moose said she wanted to put a gun to her head. She was just trying to do what she wanted, but then the police didn't understand it. Oh gosh.
But the thing is, there are a lot of seriously and people whose only means or willingness to shop is done online.
Mm-hmm.
And then that whole Amazon thing actually becomes meaningful because if you looked at where I live and what you have to go through to get to my house, it's so ridiculous. It's not like a straight line. And for an Amazon driver to have to come all the way to my house to literally deliver, say, a 1 foot electrical cord.
Right.
So my toaster oven will, my air fryer will reach the wall socket without, you know, using a safe power cord. It's like, why should that guy have to drive all the way to my house for this, you know, this 1 foot cord?
Mm-hmm.
When, I mean, I can wait 3 days and then there's 17 other packages that I'm getting can all be brought at once. So that actually does make sense for someone like me. Anyway, this all goes back to my first husband and that photograph by Scooter. You'll die. You'll never be able to unsee what I'm about to tell you.
Oh dear.
I like when you go, oh dear.
How long were you married to him?
We only lasted 5 years.
And
But,
and
you know-
everybody in your family knew that it was a sham?
They were scratching their heads. But the thing was, I had always, at that time, I mean, when I got married, I was 25, and I had sworn that I would never have children. Neither of my two brothers nor I, we had situations in my family, and we, as a result of those things, we all said we'll never have children. We never, ever put children through what we had to go through, because we did go through some very difficult things. Oh, and also, by the way, we didn't end up murdering people, you know?
Mm-hmm.
None of us became murderers. We all became successful human beings who had nice, healthy, successful children. None of us became murderers.
Wow, Moo, really? Because I thought, you know.
So you had a little run-in, but no. Okay, good.
But no, we had all sworn we would never have kids. So for me to marry a person that was basically, you know, that was no worries there, you know. So it was, yes, people were scratching their heads, but I didn't, the other thing was in the old days, we didn't talk about our personal lives. We didn't talk about who, people didn't talk about private stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not, and this is an old generation. I mean, my daughters and I talk about all kinds of stuff. We're not, I didn't raise them like that, but I was raised in a really, there were things you just didn't talk about. That was that. So, nobody, mostly people wouldn't have asked. What it did was it gave my first husband, it gave him a pass, a free pass, because then people could stop saying, God, is he gay? Because, a lot of people married, so that people would stop saying, is he gay?
Yep.
And it gave me a way out of the situation of really finding people presuming to be familiar with you when you really,
See, that doesn't make marrying your teacher sound that bad anymore.
Oh,
right?
Can you wait? I gotta tell you. Now I can tell you a story about my second marriage. Except it's time to go. It's already time to go, right?
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
What can you tell me what you were saying? Because I heard that the other night and I was cracking up. What is this about marrying your teacher?
Jimmy was her 6th grade teacher.
Yeah.
Wait, is this a joke?
No.
No.
No, I was 12 and he was 24 and he was just out of, college and teaching and I said, I'm going to marry that Mr. K someday. I'm going to be Mrs. K. And then I was playing on the kickball on the playground and stuff.
Okay, but is this a true story or is it a story?
Yeah, it just seemed weird back then, but then when we got married, it didn't seem weird anymore.
Okay.
It's okay. There's a lot of people with a 12-year age difference and everything.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
That is true. Yeah.
What are you gonna do? It always sounds worse when you're younger.
Yeah.
Like when he was 12 and I was born. Like if he said, "I'm gonna marry that baby someday," then yeah. But
that's a good. Yeah, he comes to see you. I'm gonna marry you someday, little one.
Yeah, hi baby, hi baby.
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
Well,
I know, but as you get older, like you say, it's not a big deal.
Not really, no. Mm-mm.
No, I mean, I got
When you were 12, though.
Right.
But that's not when they start dating.
No, we didn't start dating then. But I was saying it. It's like, they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I like him. I'm going to marry him one day. And they're like, oh, stop being silly. He's our teacher.
Every love note you would write him.
Yeah.
And leave on his
No,
desk.
did you really do that?
Yeah, I wanted to write, like, oh, it's Valentine's Day. I want to give Mr. K a Valentine's.
Do you ever talk to him about it? And now you laugh?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know you guys were even in the same towns.
Yeah.
What kind of teacher was he?
Oh, he was 6th grade. 6th grade, you're everything, but then he did the science. When you switched classes, you switched from
Right.
one
No,
class.
I mean, was he a strict teacher? Was he
Oh,
funny?
no, not at all. No, very funny, very funny. Brought the guitar in all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't
I
have
could
had
just
a
see
crush
you.
on him if he was strict, right?
What?
You wouldn't have had your crush on him if
Oh,
he was
no, because,
strict.
no, not at all. No.
He always passed you, too, didn't he? You said in
Yeah.
everything?
Yeah. He hardly checked the work at all. Like he would just walk around and go, "Did everybody do their homework?" Yeah, he wouldn't even check the answers.
Oh my gosh.
Mm.
Well, I was trying to find out if it was a real story or not, because I have a real story.
Did you really?
Well,
You married your teacher too?
I refuse to tell you unless you fess up.
You married your teacher?
I married my professor at NYU.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. You're both of legal age then, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you're
yeah,
an adult.
sure.
He's an adult, so no biggie.
you're not a preteen.
Yeah,
We were we were both divorcing,
right.
and I was how old was I? I was 30. I'd gone back to school because I had been my first my first husband and I worked in the same office. I met him. I met him in the office too. I mean, I only ever went out with people I met through, social circles or office and stuff like that. But the second time, I went back to school because I was leaving medical photography because I wanted to go into computers. And I have no idea how I got into NYU because that was like, I am so special needs in the head. I'm like the biggest idiot on the planet. But I also, there are some things I do exceptionally well. And I didn't see how I get into NYU. And so I went back to school and I was, to go in the computer field. That was back in 1982.
Right.
So I was waiting for my divorce to go through. And
you had a Commodore 64?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and you had a Commodore 64?
Oh, God. No, it was pretty close, though. No, they were IBM, what the hell were they? I didn't work on IBM computers, but I learned on them. But it was ridiculous. They were, in those days, the main campus down in the village. Those people were the NYU computer campus down in the village. Those people were working with punch cards.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
I went to the campus at it was 11 West 42nd, which is right next to the big New York City Public Library with the lions out front. And 11 West 42nd, that was like modern ages. They had computer monitors, and
Wow.
you could type stuff into a black screen with a blinking cursor.
Right.
It was magical. And the other people had to use punch cards. I mean, that's how old it was. But anyway, so I took this course. It was the weirdest thing. I wasn't officially divorced yet. I was waiting for the divorce. And my maiden name was at the opposite end of the alphabet from my married name. But I was legally still married and I used my married name. And I mean, that sounds like a weird thing to even mention it. But what happened was that the people who went to these, got into the group of people at the NYU campus uptown at the library, they were divided. There was such an overflow. There's so many more people applying to these programs. This was a special program that you had to take all these tests to get into. And I was an idiot. I can't pass the math test, if you're flying 70 miles an hour in this direction and blah, 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 and some eagle flies past you the other direction and 30 miles,
So that's how you got together
stuff.
with the professor?
What?
That's how you got together with the professor because you couldn't pass the math test?
Let me explain.
Oh.
So anyway, I couldn't figure out how I was ever going to get in, but they also had these other tests.
Right.
I aced the
Oral exams?
They're what? What exams?
Oral exams?
Oh my God. We just said that. Oh
You
my
did.
God. skip right past that.
You said you had these other tests. Oh my goodness.
God. No, I'll skip past it. Oh my God. There's really nowhere to go with the story now. Oh my God. No, I'm gonna skip it, forget it. There was
You led right into that one. You did that. You said I was not really good at those written exams. Those. And I said, yeah, they had these other tests.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, what they did, there are too many students for the seats. They didn't have enough seats for all the applicants. And then they just, they had these horrible tests. And I just did really well on the insane test, the logic test, the crazy stuff. And what happened was they had an overflow of students, and there aren't that many. I mean, they're working with these small numbers of students, but they were at full capacity, and they ended up having to hire like 3 teachers to handle this specific special class. Special class. So they divided them up by the alphabet. They had the first third of the alphabet, the second third of the alphabet, and the final third of the alphabet. And I was in the final third because of my last name was in the end of the alphabet, my married name. So I got this professor, and then everybody else. So all of the people in my class were, like from the bottom third of the alphabet on the last names. Well, that's how I ended up with that particular professor. And I did okay in this class. I did more than okay, and I was not a flirt sort of person. I hung out with the other students, which that was okay. That was all kind of new to me, socializing and all, but never with this professor. And he was not easy. He was. In fact, all the warning flags that came up later, they were there then, It's like this was not a person you want to get on the wrong side of.
Right.
But you couldn't have met a more affable person. I mean, he was really funny. He was so intelligent. He was super smart guy and just one of the funniest people I ever met. He was just great. And, but I was hanging out with my friends, and he's not that much older. He's 4 years older, exactly. And he was getting a divorce, but I didn't know anything about him personally, and I didn't care because I was, we were immersed in this really difficult program, and that's what I worked on. And I did get an A+. I did. I admit that, and I've gotten so much shit. Oh, sorry. That I've really taken a lot of jokes over the fact that I had an A+ from him.
Right.
But there was zero. There was nothing. He came in at 9 o'clock. He taught the class for like 3 hours. He gave a lecture, and the rest of the day we were there till midnight. We're doing all the, on our own, working.
You and him?
Huh?
Just you and him? Did you say
That came later.
Oh, that came later. Okay.
No, all the students would stay at NYU working until midnight, and we'd go out. None of us had any money because we were doing this full time. So we'd go out to the bars at happy hour, and all you had to do was buy a Heineken, and you'd get free food because they had, a happy hour. They'd have the bars around 42nd. Near the library, that whole area. I mean, they had great restaurants and stuff, and we'd all go together, and we were mostly people. I was sort of at the older end because I was only like 31 by then. And, there were people, mostly it was people in their late 20s and then up, in their 30s and stuff. But we'd all go go off to the Cattleman or some other huge place that had food we couldn't afford. But we'd eat these fabulous things at the bar. I mean, they'd hand out all this great food, and all you had to do was buy one beer. And then we'd go back and work until midnight at NYU. Anyway, so it wasn't until the end of the whole class had ended. I already had my A plus, and then we had a party. And that's, you know, I still have a picture of it. In fact, it's on Facebook. I'll send you the link to the picture. I think I left it up there. It's a picture of me having a beer at this party with my husband, my future husband. And it's so funny because it's sort of like you can see in this picture, these two awkward people who were not that young, you know. It's like he was already, you know, like 35 and I was 31. And we're both, you know, emerging battered from these marital situations that were odd. And there's that picture. I'll send you a link. I'm sure it's on Facebook. But I married him. It was crazy. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. I mean, nobody in the class would have believed it either. Nobody knew because it happened after.
Yeah.
After the class was over. But I never would have thought
That's
that.
when everything happened after class was over? That's good that you didn't do it during class.
Well, the thing is, he also turned out not to be gay, so that led to children.
Right.
And, you know, it's so corny because his wife said, she had said to him, I'll never have children with you. You're far too immature to ever have children. And it was so funny because, you know, here we were, and we were dating. He was like an old-fashioned date. He'd come to my apartment and pick me up and bring me flowers. And it was just so old-fashioned and, you know, like pleasant. And he was such the world's greatest date. It was a lot of fun. And we'd walk for miles. We were both he's tall. He's about 6'3", and I used to be 5'11", and we were both these huge walking fast and long strides people, you know, and we'd walk all over the city. We'd walk for hours and go to great restaurants and just look at all the cool stuff before everything on every corner was a bank. I mean, Manhattan used to be more fun to walk around. But we really had a lot of fun. And then we ended up, you know, getting married and having babies. But his wife had said she would never have kids with him. He was just so immature. And it was so funny because by then I'd been going out with him for a couple of months. And this is so embarrassing. I said, oh, I can't believe she said that. I'd be proud to have your children. This coming from a person who was I had vowed that I would never have children. And then somewhere along the line, my brothers both cracked, and so did I. We all ended up with they had one child apiece, and I had two, but we all ended up having children after all, despite our traumatic experiences. But and then, you know, then the marriage went. It wasn't that bad, you know. It was okay for a long time, and then it wasn't. But you know what? His first wife was right. she was right about that. As far as
So he got another student? Did he fall for another student?
No, that's not what. No, it wasn't that simple. No. But the thing is, I'm not going to dig into his life. He's still alive, and he's the father of my.
Yeah.
But and you know, we're not unfriendly now. We're not buddies. I mean, I'm not, but I'm friendly with him, and he's been with the woman that he's his companion. They've been together longer. I was with him. We were married for 16 years, but she's been with him for over. I don't know. I can't do. I can't do math. I can build databases, but
Right.
I think
Yeah. Well, maybe
yeah.
maybe if you had really worked in that class, you might be able to do that math.
Well, what people don't realize is that the really cool, the best people when it comes to database architecture are not the mathematicians.
Hi,
The
Tracy.
mathematicians are like the worst programmers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a little too sweeping. There are good database people who are also good at math, but mostly the worst database people are the mathematicians. They're just like they're even, to really solve the big problems, you need this creativity that comes out of someplace completely different, which is the part of the test that I do so well on. They're not the little formulaic questions. So and later that comes. I mean, if you're going to be in that field, of course you have to do math, but it's not the first thing is logic, and having like a a certain type of memory helps. And they're not things you can teach people. It's something you either have it or
Hi,
you
sleeping
don't. But
bee.
it's really, math is the least of it. It really is. So anyway, sorry, I'm probably turning you all crazy.
We love your stories, Moo.
I'm suddenly feeling so embarrassed. Oh my God. Talking
Don't
about
worry.
all this stuff. What?
Don't worry.
It's too late. Too late.
When you explain things, I always see things like in a movie or in a book or something.
Man.
You and your husband work together, you know, doing all that lab work and stuff. The first guy, right?
Oh man, we worked together we were married for 5 years, and I get married 74.
I always picture you like in the movie Madame Curie.
Oh my gosh.
I do.
Complete with radioactivity. Scooter, I have another story. I'll tell you, you'll die. You'll die. You'll absolutely die. It was so terrible.
Well, we don't want her to die.
You'll die of laughing combined with absolute embarrassment. I don't know how to tell you a story like this, but I will. No, but we were together. We were married for 5 years, but we were like hanging out from 74 until 80. I mean, 80. Whatever, 81. Anyway, but all of that time, for most of that time, we worked in the same office, and I worked with this guy all day, and then when I got home at night, he wanted dinner on the table, and we worked in the same office with the same boss, and only he got a third more pay than I did because he was a man. And in those days, that was legitimate. That was like, yes, but you're a woman. And it's like, well, yes, of course, I understand that, but you know. And you literally are doing the same work, but you have to take much less. And I was lucky to be, making even, more than half of what he made because I was a female. But anyway, we're doing the same job, and it wasn't such an easy job. It was an interesting technical job, but it was a lot of work. And he wanted dinner on the table, and I wanted to say to him sometimes, this is really not like a full-blown marriage. I shouldn't have to do this, but I was expected to do all the laundry, all the housekeeping, all the cooking, all of it. And I did it because that's the way I was raised. And I did it right up until I didn't. And one day he said something like, well, we're going to be late because you didn't iron my pants. And I picked up his pants and I threw them in his face. And I said, I'm never ironing anything for you again as long as I live. And I walked out of the room. That was that. I said never again. But the thing was, I did, we worked in the same office. And then when we moved to New York, we worked in the same office. We got jobs. It was insane. I mean, and it was insane because this guy was like, he was afraid that I was going to have an affair. And so he watched me all the time. It was insane. I didn't want an affair. I mean, the whole point was to not be, I just wanted to be left alone for a few years, So.
I don't know why he was worried about that, because he was gay.
Of course. But it was just so funny. It was like, if I wanted to have affairs, why would I marry you? It's like the whole point was I wanted people to leave me the heck alone. I wanted to be out of this situation where, I didn't want romance. I just wanted to be left alone and have, be able to go to work and have, and his daughter would come over on the weekends, and it wasn't an easy situation, but I used to cook with her. And in the end, we got along better than my stepdaughter and I got along better. She turned out pretty cool, by the way. She's really cool. But, that situation wasn't easy at the time because the mother was not in a good place. The mother, my stepdaughter, and that was, that had a lot of drama. But she was involved. She had a couple of abusive boyfriends, and it was, there was awful stuff. It wasn't good for the child, and whatever. But I cooked with her. We cooked together. We just cooked like crazy. She's still cooking my food. Then after we split up, both my first ex-husband, and my stepdaughter, they would call me for recipes. And say, how did you make that thing? And remember that thing we used to, she would ask me what that thing was we used to make together. So I'd like to see her again. That would be fun.
What happened?
Anyway, Scooter, I'll send you the stories.
Well, you must have sent her something. She clicked off.
Scooter left?
She's gone.
Oh my God. Can't believe it. I'm sitting here.
She just left in the middle of the whole thing.
Oh,
Scooter,
she's on my screen.
In the middle of the whole thing, she just left.
That's okay. When she wakes up, she'll see my stories, and then she'll just be like crawling with embarrassment.
I was in the bathroom.
Oh, you have to go to the bathroom, Scooter?
No, I said I did.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. You do need to go to the bathroom?
I thought none of us ever went.
How many times do you go to the bathroom a day, Scooter?
I thought we weren't allowed to go
Well,
to the
I'm just going by depends, so I don't really know.
Oh.
Scooter, we're not allowed to go to the bathroom if we're on panel. You know that.
I know, right?
You should go to the doctor, Scooter, because they can give you pills that will help you not to have to go to the bathroom.
Oh.
You were supposed to get those next time you go.
No.
Remember?
I'm sorry. I messed up.
Yeah, and you're supposed to do those exercises.
yes.
Yeah, and have that electrode that that implanted that helps you remember?
Okay, I forgot.
There's a small procedure. It's outpatient.
Also, Scooter, I don't know.
To let you guys know, though, I'm at 6%.
Oh my goodness! Here we go.
What? No, I am. I'm at 6%.
She's at 6%.
Scooter, the other thing is, I think you're a little behind on the Mommy Ramblings tokens that we have to send to Carolyn every month.
Oh, no.
Did you get yours?
No, I didn't even know about that. How did I miss that?
No, these are the tokens that we're supposed to have now, and we have to send 1,000 of these to Carolyn every month if we're gonna stay on the panel.
Look at the
Oh,
little
no.
pineapple.
Oh. How do I get them?
Well, you have to pay for them.
Okay.
I can't believe you didn't, Carolyn, you didn't send her the link to the
I don't
obligatory
understand.
token?
Yeah, I don't understand why she didn't get it. She doesn't get a lot of things. She still doesn't have, I don't think she has that GoFundMe up and running, and we don't know when the rental car is going to run out. And then what am I going to do?
Scooter, you're
I'm trying to
really
work on
flipping.
it.
She said she's going to film it at a car lot pretty soon.
I was, for a moment, I was afraid you hadn't told her she had to enroll in the pineapple token program to stay on.
I gave her the stuff. She never checks her email.
Oh, man. Well, I have mine. as
I'll
you
get
can
it done. I promise I'll get it done.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Because
see. Davida, do you have yours?
No,
when I can't pick the kids up at the bus stop and stuff, and we can't, go out or anything, then everybody's, it's all going to come down to you dropping the ball. You don't want that. You don't want
the thing
that.
is, here they are, and this is what we have to pay to be up here, so.
oh,
Hmm.
And I got mine. I have a sack of them. My God, so heavy.
I
it's
know.
all about that pineapple.
It is. It is.
I got
Actually, that could
ideas,
be on your
boss.
t-shirt, it's all about the pineapple.
It is. It's all about the pineapple. Pineapple is everything. All right. Well, Scooter's at 6%, and it's 5:13, so I think it's time to say goodnight. She's got to get up bright and eyed and bushy tailed to work on that GoFundMe.
Yeah,
And yeah, so we got to let her get her
lot,
sleep.
here I come.
Car lot. Yep, she's going to do a live from the car lot.
Okay,
She's gonna, I don't know what she's gonna do there, but she'll take care of it. And Davida,
Probably
you
have
have a
balloons
good
and
time
stuff.
at the play.
yep,
And I'm working on
Oh.
getting my channel monetized, because I put the longest video up tonight that I almost took it down because it was so long.
Did you? I have to go check it out.
yeah,
Oh wow. Okay.
all right.
All right. I'm gonna check that out. All right. Well, everybody have a good day tomorrow.
you guys.
And
Love you guys.
love you guys. Prayers for all that need. Oh, and please say prayers for Tracy W. She lost her dad.
Oh, no,
Yeah. So we're praying for you, Tracy.
okay,
All right, everybody. Love you guys.
love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
You
God
guys.
bless.